both at your home and curbside for lawnmowers, blowers, edgers, and any small engine. Call 901-386-9779.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
It's time for Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you on a Thursday afternoon. Johnny Hill producing as always, and a lot to get to over the next 3 hours that we're on. Tigers in action tonight down in Denton, Texas against North Texas. Grizzlies, they played last night, right back to it tonight to wrap up, a lot of people like to call it the first half of the season, nowhere near the first half of the season. But
67% complete.
Yes, correct. But to wrap up the pre-All-Star break portion of the season.
It's simply after the break at the All-Star.
Exactly,
That's it.
Exactly. But very, very busy here locally, busy nationally in terms of all of the news going on. But, Brett, how are you this afternoon?
I'm doing great. I love the sweater.
Thank you.
Feeling of it is not sweater-esque.
No, see, this is...
It's jersey-esque. Chicago Blackhawks looking good.
It does look good. Thank you.
That headdress logo in the front of it's really cool.
Yeah, no, I got
it really
about
is.
6 months ago. I wore it today just for no reason at all. I wanted to wear a
just sweater
this week, and so I decided to come out with it. That's right.
Blackhawks sweater.
Yeah, cracking her
What a
in action
man.
tonight, so I couldn't
Full
leave
hockey
them
man.
behind.
What a man.
Would you wear my leaves? Would you wear a Toronto Maple Leaf sweater?
Sure. If I have one, I certainly wear it.
Order it. That'd be my birthday gift.
All right. I want to
Let me
collect
know
some.
when you get it
So
in.
I will.
Get a good one.
I'll get a good one.
They're higher levels, aren't they?
Yes. See, this is one of the more cheaper ones, but
it is
Really?
No, it looks great. It doesn't look like it, but
That
yeah,
logo on the front look
it
amazing,
looks
though.
good. It looks real good.
That does not look cheap.
Yeah, no, and it does a really good job. I think this is one of the Fanatics brand replica jerseys, which are really nice.
Right before I spend all this cash, Johnny, how much would that cost?
This would cost about, I don't know, about $85 maybe a little more than that.
Because Jay Morgan used to have a great Rangers one, and he said it was
no, the upper echelons get way too expensive.
What do they cost?
I mean, we're talking like north of $200.
Dang.
Yeah, no.
I bought a
sweaters.
popping suit in the day. Didn't cost that, Johnny.
Hey, man. 200.
Yeah, there's like three different levels. There's like the $80
standard
one, about $115 one, and then there's the
upper echelon.
You're wearing exactly what the guys are wearing on the ice.
That's what I want you to get it. Bring me the bill, and I'll pay you back.
All right.
Happy birthday to Brian.
Well, thank
Happy
you.
birthday, Brian.
It's actually funny.
Coming soon.
In about a month. It's funny.
Selection Sunday, no less.
It is. See, Brett, I didn't know that. And then yesterday I'm driving to work, and you're on with Dave Woloshin, and Dave says, well, we're about a month away or so from Selection Sunday, and you go, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. And I go, wow, how about that? That'll be a birthday present. Selection Sunday.
Hey, man.
Hopefully the Tigers are on the right
Time
side.
changed the week before.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that'll
get back
be
to normal,
a good time.
non-weird time.
Hey, man, I'm looking forward to that,
I
Brett.
am too,
I'm looking
Well,
forward to
we're
that.
already kind of seeing the sun.
We all said it
when,
last night
yeah.
leaving here that it's a lot lighter.
Yeah, it's way lighter.
But funny thing about this jersey is I have not worn this in forever. I mean, it's been probably a month
It
or
has been
two
a while.
since
Really?
I'd forgot. When I
Yeah.
saw you on the stream this morning, I thought new, but now I remember.
Yeah, and so, but the funny thing is, so this is Connor Bedard, the rookie for
Phenom.
Chicago. He's been injured.
Really?
And
I didn't know
he
that.
broke his jaw, and so he's been out. And I decided just randomly, no reason at all, to wear this today. It was announced about an hour ago. He's going tonight.
luck.
He's back 2 weeks early from when he was supposed to return. He's
Yeah.
going tonight.
It's
Isn't
called the hat trick.
Maybe
Yeah.
that was the good luck charm. Who knows?
You are the good look.
Thank
But
you.
isn't he supposed to be one of the future of the league, though?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I
He's
mean,
supposed to be the future.
he's in that.
I knew
He can be great.
I think I knew that much.
Yeah, no, you knew that much, but that's about as much hockey as we got today. It
Yeah,
took
that's
us
our hockey quotient until we start
2
doing
minutes, yes.
Oh, we were warning Johnny today because we
Oh,
got
man,
Tiger
we
Woods
sure
round
do,
on.
yeah.
We were warning Johnny about the golf picks.
golf picks. Oh yeah,
And
Golf
everything that
picks.
goes in them.
that's right.
Johnny, you haven't lived till we do Stanley Cup picks.
Oh man,
Oh, man. I don't know what I'm looking more forward to, the golf
man.
picks or the Stanley Cup.
and I can already tell you, the Toronto Maple Leafs are in there. Brett has them going and winning the whole thing.
They're my team.
His team.
Oh,
my
man.
Leafs.
His Leafs.
I've never been to the country, but
but beautiful, I've heard. It's a great country.
really nice people.
That's right. Well, it's like I said,
Great
very
anthem.
busy.
That's all I know
Oh,
about it.
I do love the
Cold.
Canadian anthem. Cold
It's
most of the
freezing.
time.
It's freezing over there. It's a different level
On
of
the
cold.
4th of July, it's
That's
freezing.
right. That's right. We do not want to be up in Canada. I'm fine down here. But busy day nonetheless here locally. And for the Tigers, a big one tonight on the
sure
road
is.
against the North Texas team that has struggled recently.
Why
but
are we scared of North Texas? Are we? First of all, are we? Collectively, are we scared of North Texas tonight?
I'm a little skeptical.
I'm nervous.
I'm scared.
yeah.
And this is why. Losing home to Rice, you can lose to anybody.
Exactly. I mean, that's
Great
the
point.
thing. I mean,
Great point.
North Texas has won 2 games since January 17th.
yeah.
2.
Yeah. It's been
Play at a snail's pace,
they do.
slightly favored,
Yeah. I was a little surprised when I saw
and it has stuck.
it has because
Came out last night at
Yeah.
1.5 and it's held.
I know. I think I was talking to Johnny Radio earlier today, and we were talking about this line, and he said, "Well, when I saw it out there at 1.5, 1 last night, I thought by this morning, it would be Tigers favored
And
slightly."
that's kind of been the Tigers lately with the Lions. It
Yeah.
comes out at one thing and then bounces
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
Not this one.
No, and I think the biggest thing, and we'll certainly talk about it a lot. North Texas right now, 2 of their better players have been out. We talk about one of their last 5 games they've won. One of their best players, senior Reuben Jones, has been out for those 5 games, and he could be back tonight. North Texas, Brett, I've learned, is one of those tricky teams. You really got to go search out for information about them.
Their game notes were easy to find.
Their game notes. I'm talking about reporting on them. They don't have, the
Yeah, they're not on the front page of the Dallas Morning News.
And Dallas Morning News, you can't find anything about them. I'm searching. I think I went to 3 or 4 different newspapers before I could find an actual dedicated beat writer to North Texas basketball.
Is there a paper in Denton?
There is. Very small. That's the one I found it on.
Good.
And I forgot what it was called. Denton something.
Yeah.
But I found it, and sounds like game time decision for 2 of their guys. One of the guys averages about 11 points per game. The other about 8 points per game. So those are guys that can certainly contribute. And I think, if those guys are ruled that they're not going to play, this could very well before tip-off be a Tigers favored.
I was going down their schedule, and I don't see a red letter win. I see some losses to some pretty good teams.
Sure.
Lost to LSU, lost badly at State, some others, but nothing extraordinary.
No. But, I mean, it's...
And I thought, why are we so on blast for North Texas?
Well,
because what we've seen.
Yeah, because
out
of
of
what
the
we've
Tigers.
seen, and I think because of the whole, pace discrepancy. We know the Tigers, I don't want to say are...
We wouldn't even known that 15 years ago.
No, not at all. But I don't think we would ever say the Tigers are, sprinting up and down the court, and want to be the number 1, fastest team in the country. But they certainly aren't the second slowest, like we learned that North Texas was yesterday, or is.
I'm stunned. You had UVA. You told me UVA's last.
Yeah, dead last. I was kind of surprised about that too. But, so I think that's the biggest thing is, and we've seen this Tiger team early really struggle to, control these games. And so I think, if the Tigers come out tonight and...
Have y'all noticed that John Harden's almost working a look of like a relief pitcher?
He does, yes.
Looks like somebody's going to go out and touch the right hand and
That's
call
right.
him in.
He's ready. Well, and I just saw
he looked
him.
like Rod Beck from the 90s with the Giants, John.
John, I hope
You
John
want to
can
defend
hear me
yourself?
right now. John, can you hear me? You just picked up your phone. I saw you 2 hours ago put your phone down right there, and I almost went and found John to tell him because I knew he would lose it and be looking for it 2 hours later. So I'm glad you got your phone, John. Thank you. He's like a mime over there.
He really is.
He's a great guy. Great guy.
But no, I think for the Tigers, I think a lot of it is they've struggled early in games to control it, and so I think if they come out tonight and
set the pace,
but if they don't set the pace, it could be a long night. I think that's what people are worried about because it's taken them a long time to really get things figured out early in games. Now that changed Sunday against Tulane. They really controlled it early and set the tone. They got to do that tonight.
Can Memphis
Texas
win a game in the 50s?
Here's the thing. You have guys like David Jones and Javon Quinterly that I think can help you win very tight games. And I think if you're playing in the 50s, it's going to be a very tight game. And so I have hope. but they don't want to win a game like that. I mean, that's a game you're going to be sitting at 8:45 going, oh man, Tigers cannot lose this type of game. They cannot lose this game.
If it's 21-20 at halftime, look out.
Man, look, it's going to be a long night.
That was SMU. Well, SMU had an even bigger lead than that.
Yeah, and so I mean, I really liked what I saw from the Tigers on against Tulane. I know it was one game, but the rotation was tighter. They came out with energy and kind of set the tone early.
It's hard beating Tom Izzo.
Well, but I got to see that on the road. I've got to see them do it.
We've made him
out to be a top 3 coach in college basketball.
Made him into being Lute Olson.
But I want to see Memphis do that on the road. Can they go out in a road environment? I think North Texas is giving away a television tonight to either students or all fans. So
Super Bowl.
It's going to be a raucous environment, and I think the first 10 minutes of this game is extremely important.
It is. Last night when I left FedEx Forum, the Grizzlies game. Mm-hmm. After I crossed the new bridge, I put it on the Arkansas game and listened down the stretch of it in the disaster against Tennessee. I had not checked in on a score since I saw a halftime score, and it was pretty fairly close at halftime. And then just UT blowout in the second half. And I'm listening, and I'm thinking, how many times have I listened to a Razorback any game, much less a conference game, at Bud Walton Arena, and you could hear the ball bouncing through Chuck and Matt's microphones. And I'm going, boy. And then Matt Zimmerman said it, and he's been around. He was a manager, a GA, assistant coach. He's been to a lot of games at Bud Walton Arena. And he said, Chuck, I've never heard Bud Walton Arena this quiet.
Yeah, I mean, and that's just kind of what the season has been for Arkansas. I mean, to think that this team was a top 15 preseason team and
beat Purdue
in that
top secret,
that
not
exhibition.
so top secret exhibition.
But I was talking to me and John Harden were talking about it earlier, and he said, I mean, remember how excited we were on Thanksgiving of, oh man, Memphis, Arkansas, both are at the top of their
rematch in the tournament.
And I mean, what could this mean for tournament time if they get this win? I mean, we all said it because that's what you thought going into it, and since then, Arkansas, I mean, they got the win against Duke, which was big, but since then, they haven't won anything.
They haven't, and here are some of the margins. They lost, just in the SEC, lost at home by 32 to Auburn. That's the largest margin of defeat in Bud Walton Arena history. It was getting close to being topped last night. Yeah. They lost by 22 at Florida, lost by 13 at home to South Carolina, lost by 26 at Ole Miss, 21 at LSU, and last night by 29.
Yeah, it's been one of those seasons that I don't think if you polled Arkansas fans, coming out of a Arkansas football game earlier this season, hey, how many double-digit losses in conference play will Arkansas basketball have this year?
The idea of them playing on Wednesday night in Nashville.
Oh, man.
Nobody would have thought that leaving the Missouri football game.
I mean, they would have said we're a top 4 seed at the SEC tournament.
Yeah, and, we buy until Friday.
Yeah, and so, it's just been one of those years, and it's been like that. Oh, I'm excited to talk to Ty tomorrow because it's been like that all year. Football, we thought they were going to be pretty good. They fall out. And then, those fans are thinking, oh, basketball season right around the corner, ranked team going in the season. Now look at them, and baseball starts tomorrow, so at least they have
Omaha
Hogs, top 5 team in the country.
Got to say it with gusto because that's all that's left between now and July 1.
Well, I think they're about to be overshadowed because I think Texas has in all of their cleats, in the padding on their cleats, have a little logo that says the University of Texas at Omaha.
Texas Longhorn baseball?
Texas Longhorn
they
baseball.
Can't throw that kind of shade at Omaha, can they?
I mean, hey.
Texas actually, they've won it.
They have, so I think they have more of a reason to rep Omaha.
They do, and it puts a lot of pressure, I think, on Dave Van Horn. Yeah. And I'm not talking about changing, firing him or anything, because they've had 2 baseball coaches since 1972.
Crazy. That's incredible.
I mean, it's an incredible run, but no championships, no dog piles in Omaha.
Yeah.
And they've had to look the last 3 years of their 3 biggest rivals having a dog pile: LSU, Ole Miss, and Mississippi State.
Yeah, that's tough.
So anything less than a dog pile in Omaha, it's more of this bad year.
Well, that's a really good point by you, because I think a lot of Arkansas fans would say, we are the best baseball program in the SEC, and the last 3 years you've had other SEC teams win.
To your biggest rivals.
Crazy. That is insane.
And they are, and they should be very proud of that program and its history.
Absolutely.
And those facilities. I would just tell them it's not better than State's. Ole Miss is Arkansas is I would say a notch better.
Sure.
Maybe 2 pegs, but not vast superiority.
No.
And it's not to LSU.
No, not at all.
But kind of comparable.
Sure, absolutely. But it's just been a very weird year in Fayetteville this year because I don't think
State's the Taj Mahal.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's beautiful down there. But I am excited. College baseball kicks off tomorrow. So
it does.
I'm excited for that.
Do you think any early wagering advantages in college baseball? We'll talk that with Alan Bell tomorrow.
We will.
He caught some last year.
He does. And I have noticed, Brett, we talked about this a lot yesterday, and we talked about it a lot with Alan Bell last year. Unless they put him out extremely late, can't bet on any totals in college baseball this year. Only
not
money
anywhere.
Lines. Well, at least the books I have seen that I use.
What about it, brick and mortar? Southland.
I'm not sure.
Tunica.
I don't know. That's a good question. But at least I went through
what
all of my books.
Those places do on college baseball, like this weekend.
That's a good question.
If you wanted to bet Ole Miss in Hawaii, I wonder what they do.
That's a good question.
I would have no idea.
I will be betting Ole Miss in Hawaii tomorrow night. I can assure you.
I can honestly say I've never bet college baseball.
Oh man, Brett, when I could bet totals,
y'all were crushing them.
Oh man,
y'all caused them to do it.
Sure did, and now you
and
can't
Alan Bell broke the house.
We did,
Johnny.
we did. We teamed up and broke the house. But no, so I'm excited about college baseball tomorrow. I'm sure we're gonna be at the front.
Tigers open tomorrow.
They do. They're down at Jacksonville State, so they'll get the season started. I think 3:00 on ESPN Plus, so people can go check that out. That'll be a lot of fun. But Brett, I can assure you, we're gonna be at the furniture show tomorrow at the Agri Center. I can assure you that while we're sitting there for our 3-hour show, I will be sweating out some college baseball
I'm going to do the show tomorrow from a big old recliner.
Ooh, I like that.
At the furniture show.
I might accidentally doze off if I do that, so maybe
doze off right
maybe
there.
Not. Yeah, maybe
like
not do that. Yeah, exactly. Well, let me set up today's show before we get to top and not top story of the day. 3:30, we'll get back into our Tigers conversation, a big one tonight on the road against North Texas. The Mean Green, they open up as a 1.5-point favorite at home. So we'll get to Tiger Bankroll towards the end of that segment, but we'll break down what we expect to see tonight for the Tigers and North Texas. 3:45, Grizzlies, they break their losing streak with a win last night on Valentine's Day. Love was in the air over their former teammate Dylan Brooks and the Houston Rockets, but they're right back to action tonight before the All-Star break against the Milwaukee Bucks. That game on TNT tonight. So we'll talk a lot of Grizzlies at the end of the hour. 4 o'clock, Keith Smith will join us from Spot Track and the front office show to talk the NBA. A lot to get to with Keith. And what I want to start with Keith, did you see the story about Isaiah Stewart and last night against the Suns? An altercation with Drew Eubanks. Sounds like he just sucker punched him.
I think
got
necessary.
Arrested. Yeah. So the biggest story in basketball now.
Assaults.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whether it's in the sports realm or out on the street.
Yeah, so very, very interesting story developing for Isaiah Stewart. We'll get to that with Keith at 4 o'clock. 4:30, we'll talk some college basketball. It was an eventful last couple of nights in college basketball, including an absolute beatdown down in Auburn against South Carolina. So
Auburn could play the NCAA tournament. On the Plains?
I mean,
put the banner up.
Would not want to bet against them. The only problem is they're
not going to be able to.
No. But we'll talk a lot of college basketball at 4:30. 4:45, we'll get to big number of the day. 5 o'clock, Greg Gaston will join us to talk Tigers. 5:30, we'll get to what's trending. And at 5:45, we'll wrap up today's show like we always do with Taco Bell Crunch Time. Let me remind you, we're in our Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. Get over there for the floor model sale. All floor model patio sets are priced to move. Wicker sofa set, under $2,000. Closeout patio cushions as low as $25. Pool tables, under $1,500. Theater seating, under $2,000. 4-person hot tubs, now under $5,000. Infrared and traditional steam saunas, 25% off. Get ready for summer and purchase your above-ground pool now to get first in line for installation. And special financing is still available, but only at Family Leisure, 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40.
We are Sportstime, and we're with you until 6 o'clock, and it is produced by Johnny Hill. He's Bryant, I'm Brett, and we want you to be a part of it at 901-360 8255. This hour of our show brought to you every day by Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com. Great offers on all 2024 models and always special leasing options at the one and only Lexus dealership in town. Call them at 901-334-9673. Drive in luxury and confidence, knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. Stop by today at Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and put yourself in the driver's seat of the all-new 2024 flagship LS500. You'll be looking and you'll be driving in style. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design, and they make for the luxury driving experience. Online at lexusofmemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, my top story of the day's got to be the Tigers back in action. They've won 3 in a row. Want to keep that going tonight against North Texas. I'll be honest, I was a little surprised when I saw North Texas a 1.5-point favorite. Not really because of anything
It was
other
a big
than yeah, but
HMMM ...
I think the only reason it was like that for me is because they've lost 4 of their last 5 games, and you see the Tigers won 3 in a row. They've been playing better. Yeah, that's really what it was. And I think, and this is what kind of worries me, Brett, and I want to get into it a little bit more in our next segment.
Ross Hodge. I looked it up today.
Wow, look at you.
I looked it up.
I wasn't going to ask, but very good, Brett. But no, I am worried. You look at these last 5 games, this losing streak that North Texas has gone through. It's been without Reuben Jones, their senior guard, who averages 11.7 points, 3 rebounds, 3.8 assists, and 1.4 steals. He's missed the last 5 games, but he hasn't played a lot since conference play started. But then also junior guard C.J. Noland, who averages about 10 points a game, about 2.5 rebounds a game.
Any kin to Warren Noland?
I don't believe so, no. But he has missed the last 3 games. So you're missing 2 of your more experienced players over these last games. And I was trying to look it up, trying to get more information on maybe if they were going to go tonight or not. And so I'm kind of thinking maybe Vegas has a hunch that one or both of these guys play tonight, and that's the reason they've opened up.
It's hard to get a lot by them.
They know what they're doing, and that's why
they take it really
start
serious.
thinking 3 games in a row for Memphis have been wins. 4 of the last 5 have been losses. You'd think the Tigers would be a favorite, and then I start thinking, they've got some injuries. Maybe they have a hunch that they're going to play tonight. So maybe that's the reason. I don't know. We're going to get to Tiger Bankroll in our next segment. But for the Tigers, got to come out strong. If they can come out how they did against Tulane, I think they win this one fairly easily. But if they come out like they have in pretty much every game before that, it could be a long night in Denton.
Think of the big old computers and all the AI they have in Vegas. They take it really serious. When we're sleeping, they're
working. They are.
They're working. My top story right there: Tigers in Denton, Texas, to face the defending NIT champs.
Wow, Brett, you are impressing me today.
A matchup of the 2021 NIT champs, Memphis, versus the 2023
Something's gotta
NIT
give.
champs. If anyone cares, the 2022 champs was Xavier or Xavier?
One of the 2. My friend's listening. He can text me and tell me which one it is.
A loss tonight for the Tigers, and get ready for 2024 NIT talk.
Yeah.
A win tonight and a win Sunday afternoon in Toady Highland Park, and the NCAA at large talk can resume. 6th place Memphis tonight against 7th place North Texas. That's what it is.
Not top story of the day.
Well, Brett, this top story might not mean much to you, but I know for me and for Johnny, this means everything. Earlier today, EA Sports announced that NCAA football is returning this summer, Johnny.
Yes, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be in line.
I honestly think Nick Saban should be on the cover. I think
yes, they should make a legend edition and put them on there.
Now,
man.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe they go for a more pricey option, a legend edition, and have Nick Saban on it. I don't know. Caleb Williams, I think, would
He's
be
a
the favorite.
favorite.
They would take the old Sports Illustrated powder and go regional covers, would they?
No, I don't think so.
I don't
It's just
think
going to
they
be
would.
one?
Yeah, I think it's just going to be one.
one.
Now, here's the interesting thing about it, because now they haven't had a game since 2014.
Yeah.
And it was a great game, by the way. Still play it. But
legendary.
I think then you couldn't have current players, obviously,
you
on
couldn't.
the cover. So it would be kind of like the Heisman before.
We can't have players having any money in college sports.
Exactly. Yeah. I am curious. I mean, do they go a current player that's going to be playing college football next season?
That's what I would think it too, Brian.
And put him on the cover. I don't know. But
who would it be? Who should it be if they go with one from last year? A star.
they're gonna probably put Caleb on there.
Yeah, if it's not someone coming back, I don't know.
They don't make the NFL cash.
I have no idea who a current player would be.
That's what I would think in the day.
I was told that Caleb Williams has not hired an agent and still could return to USC.
Yeah,
I heard that too.
That continues to be out there. I'd be shocked if he came back. Now, he hasn't participated in any of these,
he hasn't.
Prospect games
he hasn't.
or anything. So that is interesting.
Whoa, that's a great point, Brett. That's a great point. I didn't even think about that.
What if he announced and then the reveal of the game?
Oh, that would be it, obviously.
I read a story. He made about $10 million last year through endorsements.
No, he's making good money, and if he sees
Wendy's, Heisman House, all that.
And I mean, it's very weird how college football has changed so much. I mean, he, like you said, if he made all that money, he could very well have the power to say, I don't really want to go to the Bears. Sounds like the Commanders might trade. I don't really want to go to the Commanders. I'll just stick around and run it back at USC. Why not?
And if he do leave, I'm trying to think of a name. Shedeur Sanders.
That's one.
Milroe.
Yeah, Milroe. Somebody. Elite guy
could be a name
that's a great point, Brian.
With his big old mullet.
Certainly be a quarterback, I would say.
It's going to be a quarterback.
It'd be a big flow in the cover.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. I know a lot of our guests that we talk to are tweeting about it. Me and David Cobb, when he joins Johnny on Tuesdays, we talk about it a lot of, oh man, when do you think they're going to announce it?
Man, I'm ready for it.
In the day when y'all would play those games, who was your favorite guy?
We'll see. Back then, you didn't have any.
You didn't
have any.
Who was your favorite team?
I stuck in the SEC like LSU and stuff like that.
I always building up the small teams. I would go UMass. UMass is my go-to team.
Hey, that's crazy. I build up a UMass team.
Everybody does. It's like a rite
They're the
of
worst
passage.
team.
You got to.
My not top story, Tiger Woods teed off earlier. In fact, he's close to being finished today. Earlier at the LA Open, the Genesis Invitational, his tournament at famed Riviera. First time in tournament play since that sad, cold Saturday last April at the Masters when he was broken up yet again. First time without the famed swoosh in his pro career. He does not have that on. He has on the, give it to me again.
The Sunday Red.
Yes, 48.
Looks good.
And everything that can be broken and put back together again. Well, it has been for the great Tiger Woods. Masters in 2 months, we hope, but not if it's like last year.
No, you're right about that. And I've been trying to keep an eye on him, especially early, kind of struggled, then bounced back.
Couple bogeys, couple birdies, round even par, and that gets you nothing with these guys.
No, absolutely.
Can't lay at 7 under. Will Zalatoris back from injury.
Yeah.
Had a great round earlier, I think.
I'm glad to see him because early this year in January, he was really struggling out there. You could tell. But I was looking earlier today. I think the lines for Tiger to make the cut, to make the cut was like minus 150. To miss the cut was like plus 175 or something like that.
Any action?
I did not. I had to stay back.
Justin Thomas plus 7.
Oh, man.
He's in the group with Tiger and Gary Woodland. Another great story. I guarantee you Tiger and Justin Thomas have a pretty good money game going.
Absolutely. And Justin Thomas, the past couple tournaments have been playing well. And then today just cannot get anything going at all. Well, that'll do it for top and not top story of the day. Let's go ahead and get to our first break. When we come back, we'll break down tonight's game between Tigers and North Texas. That's next on Sports Time.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Guns, guns, and more guns. Over 700 firearms in stock. Home defense guns, old guns, new guns, used guns, big guns, little guns. Every gun you can think of, Classic Arms has them. All brands like Glock, Sig, Colt, Ruger, Smith & Wesson, Browning, Beretta, Benelli, Remington, Winchester, and more. Guaranteed lowest prices in town. Only gun importer in the Mid-South. Free gun inspections and appraisals and free bore sighting for the upcoming deer season. Shop online at ClassicArmsOfMemphis.com or visit Classic Arms at 1740 Germantown Parkway behind Corky's Barbecue in Cordova.
Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company, we have it all. From handmade Amish leather belts, fine and casual clothing, boots, casual boots, work boots, fancy boots, and even safety-toed boots. Lots of cowboy hats to choose from, even Nebo lights, good-looking duck head dress shirts, duck head caps, shorts, and pants. Tons of jeans from Ariat, Wrangler, Devil Dog, and Kimes Ranch jeans. At Hewlett & Dunn, we have a great selection of Old South t-shirts and caps. Fine clothing from dress to casual to Sunday best. Enjoy choosing from UFO's orthopedic approved shoes. Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company. Boots of every size, every color, every skin. Great quality Western, work, and safety toe boots. Hewlett & Dunn Boots and Clothing Company. 111 North Center Street, Collierville. Hewlett & Dunn. Hewlett & Dunn, serving you and your family since 1961.
Chris Price, it's so good to see you. And you have a new business?
Yes, Dave. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Have you noticed water stains on your ceiling? With storm season here, take a walk around your home or business and look up. Make sure there are no water stains signaling a leak prior to the heavy storms coming in. If you do see signs of water, call me. My team and I will come out, diagnose the problem, and prescribe a fix. Our team of Hague-certified inspectors are waiting to assist with any inspection or repairs you may need. We have 3 crews dedicated to repairing roofs in the Mid-South. As certified Owens Corning and Mule High dealers, we offer 20-year, no-dollar limit labor and material warranties that offer hassle-free ownership. That's our hassle-free ownership guarantee. Allow Metro Builders team of professionals to assist you in maintaining your property's integrity and value. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Your local commercial roof experts. Ask about our commercial roof maintenance agreements. Protect your investment with MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Call me, 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717. 375-1717.
If you've tried to buy a Rolex watch lately, you know how difficult it is. New models are in rare supply. Some jewelers put you on wait lists. Others make you buy their other jewelry at inflated prices just to be considered for a Rolex purchase. Well, that's all changed now that Genesis Diamonds has arrived. Genesis Diamonds is the premier dealer of luxury pre-owned Rolex timepieces. People who come in are shocked to see Daytonas, Hulks, Submariners, Pepsis, Datejusts, all the hard-to-find Rolex watches ready to wear today. At Genesis, we've used our worldwide connections to find only the first luxury pre-owned Rolexes, immaculate, pristine watches, fairly priced with no strings attached, and with flexible financing options. So enough with the wait lists and the retail jeweler games. Get the Rolex of your dreams today at Genesis Diamonds. And if you already have a Rolex and are interested in trading up, we also have Rolex buyers on site every day. Just another example of how we're forever changing the jewelry landscape here. Genesis Diamonds, official jeweler of the Tennessee Titans at Poplar and Perkins Extended.
It's time to get thunderstruck during Gossett Mitsubishi's spring sales event at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. Ready to get 43 MPG Highway? Check out the 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage. We Gossett, 18610 or $249 a month. Need extra room? 7-passenger seating in 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander SE, 33605 or $399.99 a month. And Gossett Mitsubishi's got sophisticated styling and comfort in 2024 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, 31,200 or $449 a month. Plus, every Gossett Mitsubishi comes with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. That's Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, and 24/7 at MemphisMitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we Gossett and Gossett Motor Cars.
Mirage RH005931 MSRP 19110, Outlander RZO 19512 MSRP 34605, Eclipse RZO 10625 MSRP 317, includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit dealer stock only.
Napa Cafe celebrates 26 years in 2024. Hi, I'm Glenda Hastings, owner of Napa Cafe, and I want to thank you for making us part of your dining experiences. If you are a first-time guest or have dined with us countless times, I want to thank you for making us part of your lives. Whether you're celebrating with the crowd or planning a cozy date night on the town, Napa Cafe can provide you an extraordinary evening. We have 5 dining rooms, including our private wine cellar, our Jan's room for 2 guests, and the Eleanor room for parties up to 60. Sit back, relax, and celebrate. Leave the cooking to us. Come see me at Napa Cafe, 5101 Sanderlin Avenue. We're open Wednesday through Saturday for dinner starting at 5 o'clock. We also offer curbside pickup from our full menu. For details on our stay-in, dine-out menu or reservations, visit our website at napacafe.com. Come join us as we celebrate 26 years of Napa Cafe in 2024. We can't wait to serve you.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. As of last check, it was a little bit slow over there in West Memphis from our earlier crash on 40 West just past 55. Some of that traffic continuing up towards Marion as traffic increases now out here in the construction zone. Be careful, 55 north and southbound between McLemore and South Parkway. It looks pretty good right now on 240 eastbound from Mill Branch all the way out to 385. 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in the Memphis area. It's Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. You can check them out at tomahawkcrane.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
I don't know if it's the first thing that goes, but it's close to it. Justin Thomas is not 7 over. He's 2 over, but I can't read.
Well, Brett, I give you the benefit of the doubt. You saw it in the little leaderboard column, and I'll be honest, they just had Gary Woodland
when
up
twos
there.
become sevens,
He's 2 under. I could have thought it was a 7. I mean, it's very small over there. This TV gets a little blurry, especially
Tiger
the
now
smart
plus
kids.
1.
Yes, and I think about to putt for par, or did he already putt
Tiger
for par?
is blowed up.
Yeah, he's looking bigger. He's looking bigger, and we were talking about it during the break. I really like the new logo.
I like the logo.
I don't love the name Sunday Red, but I don't think you have to say it that much spaced out. But I like to, if they want to have the spaces in there, I'm gonna make sure people know there's spaces in there. But
I'm telling you, when he would come out there on Sunday with that red top, black trousers, black hat, Nike swoosh, it was worth 4 strokes.
Oh,
it scared everybody.
We almost just had Justin Thomas down to 1 over, but he just putt lipped out. Oh man,
that still looks like a 7.
Well, I can't help you. I tried to help you a little bit. I can't help you anymore. If the bigger numbers look like 7s, I can't help you there. But no, it's been fun. Me and I was talking with I think Jay Morgan a couple weeks ago when some of these earlier golf tournaments that obviously this is one of the bigger ones, but in early January you get some of those that whatever. But it's nice to have Thursday afternoon golf on and to be able to watch it. It's just something to do during the day. It's fun.
I haven't been transfixed yet.
No, not at all.
It will start growing.
Absolutely. And like when I'm up here producing for John, I mean, get my iPad out, prop it up, and have some golf going in the background. It's not bad.
We'll be ready when he gets here.
Well, and Brett, I'm studying. I'm getting ready for golf picks here in a couple months.
I hope so.
Well, I'd be better than I was last year.
Distant third last year. Yeah. Very distant third.
Yeah. Well, hopefully Johnny doesn't come in and do what he did for NFL playoff picks. Good
Drop
Lord.
a house on us.
Hey man, I'm right now. I'm mentally preparing for my golf picks.
You got to. It's
right
intense.
now. I'm mentally preparing for. I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, no, you need
and the hockey picks.
That's right. It's gonna be a lot of picks. You get a lot of picks in here. That's for sure.
Very nervous time on those picks.
Yeah, that's right. It means a lot. But for tonight, it means a lot for the Tigers. Penny Hardaway's team, 3 wins in a row now. We've talked about it a lot. You've talked about it all season long when you looked at the schedule and you said, man, that back-to-back on the road in Texas could be tricky. North Texas tonight, SMU Sunday afternoon. And for the Tigers, we talked about it earlier, certainly not a slow-paced team, but going up against the team that is second slowest in the country, it could be certainly a style mismatch tonight.
Yeah, preseason we both had a sweep of this.
Yeah.
And never dreaming conference would have this much trouble that it's had, but it had it.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the middle of it, and now after 3 straight wins, the Tigers, if they win tonight, it really changes the story. Yeah. I won't say house money Sunday at Moody, but a lot better, a lot less pressure.
Sure.
A loss tonight and then a loss Sunday, then I don't know how even the most brave defenders could defend an at-large bid.
Yeah, no, I mean, and really we've talked about it over these last couple of weeks. I mean, it's just win that next game. And if you drop a couple, we've talked to Kevin Sweeney and we've talked to David Cobb, and they've kind of said, maybe 1 loss, 2 losses, not much more than that. And with so many games left, I mean, I know it's only about 7 or 8, but if you drop 1 out of these 2, then you've got 2 against FAU, a frisky Charlotte team. I mean, it could get very uncomfortable. It's already uncomfortable. And so I think...
And zany midges.
Oh, that's
going
right.
to East Carolina.
That's right. East Carolina, always stub your toe out there for some reason. But, no, I mean, tonight, we know North Texas really relies on their defense. I'm seeing, on KenPom, they're 36th in the country in adjusted defensive efficiency. I think Bart Torvik earlier, I was looking, trying to sort some data, and they had them 25th in the country in adjusted defensive efficiency. So this is going to be a team that's going to try to make it difficult for you to get anything going offensively. And we've seen the Tigers really go on these long scoring droughts. And, I remember against Temple where they get this 23-point lead, and next thing you know, just like that, it's a 10-point game because, they really struggled getting scores. Looked great early on. But, this is going to be a team against North Texas where you could go on these scoring droughts, and the Tigers need to try to limit that and stay composed and focused when that does happen.
So what was the last complete game? What was it, Tulane?
I'd say it's Tulane.
You think it was complete? I do too.
I think maybe took your foot off the gas a little bit at the end, but at that point you were up
Sunday, so that's pretty recent.
Very recent. But before that, Brett, we're going back to
Virginia,
and I guess if you look back to that Virginia team in terms of pace of play, Tigers had no trouble with it against Virginia, but it seems now I think we could say that was a very different team than the one we're talking about right now.
And we have, and we can continue to. We can crush Mizzou and Michigan and Arkansas all we want. But that 4 straight over Virginia Common, A&M, Clemson, and Virginia, that's when I was thinking it's top 10, 12, 15 talent.
Yeah.
Because we know that's changed too.
Sure.
With Caleb Mills. That is big.
Absolutely.
I don't think it's the singular reason.
No, not at all.
But it's a part of a couple of reasons.
Yeah. No, absolutely. That was huge, especially when you talk defensively. I don't want to go out and say he's the best defensive player in the country out there, but he was really good, and he was a leader defensively. He talked a lot. He was making sure guys were staying engaged, and I think you get that with Jourdain, but I was really paying attention to that when I was at the game against Wichita State. And really, outside of him and Jordan Brown in the few minutes he played, nobody's talking on the defensive end of the court. Now, it looked better. I was just watching on TV on Sunday. It looked better Sunday. It looked like guys were more chatty out there. But, that's something you got to rely on defensively, and we just haven't seen that since Caleb Mills has gone down with that injury.
Pretty good night in the American.
Yeah, loaded night.
Any chance SMU's looking past Tulane and looking forward to Sunday at home against the Tigers? They're at Cameron Indoor Fogelman Arena tonight.
That's right. No, I think they, possibility they could be. I think they certainly have revenge on their mind with what happened here in Memphis.
Tulane's going the other way.
Tulane's going the other way.
Tulane was going the other way when they beat Memphis down there.
That's unfortunately true. But I think if you went and asked those SMU players of, should you have won that game at Memphis, they would have said absolutely, we should have won that game. That one was we let that one go, and I think they want revenge. I think they have a big opportunity on Sunday, and so and I saw 2.5, 3-point favorite on the road.
Where's SMU in pace of play?
Let's see.
Because I thought they got in way too big a hurry late in the game here against Memphis, especially nursing that big halftime lead. Some of the shot selection was very shaky.
Yeah, they're about middle of the road. They're about 207, so right around average pace of play. But especially late, it seemed like they got a little rushed, a little frustrated, and kind of let that game get away from them. Brett, I mentioned this earlier, and I wanted to talk about because I think it could be in play of why why North Texas is favored tonight. I mentioned earlier Reuben Jones, their senior guard. He's missed the last 5 games, missed a lot in conference play with a hamstring injury, I believe. Also, junior guard C.J. Nolan has missed the last 3 games. I went in Bart Torvik. You can go, and Ken Palm, it just tells you all the numbers stuff. Bart Torvik, you can go and you can filter it and go by this date to this date and see sorts of things. Right now, Bart Torvik, in just all of the season, North Texas, they have them ranked as the number 25 in adjusted defensive efficiency. So pretty good. Top 25 defense in the country is what Bart Torvik is saying. If you just go back over these last 5 games without these 2 players, they've been number 67 in adjusted defensive efficiency. So very clearly, these guys are huge defensive factors, and this North Texas team has not been as great defensively over these last 5 games. Now, if that continues tonight, I think you feel very good about the Tigers' chances. But if they get Reuben Jones back, which I think is probably one of their better, if not best, defensive players on their team, this could be a very, very scary game down the stretch.
Yeah, I'm calling it. It'll be their biggest, loudest home crowd of the year.
Well, I mentioned it earlier. I saw somewhere they're giving away a television. So anytime you're giving away a TV, it's a big game.
And Memphis inspires this.
Yeah.
I don't mean that necessarily negatively, but then preseason comments by Coach Hardaway of really all our work's got to be done in the 9.
Yeah.
all these people read it. World Wide Web goes everywhere.
Yeah, and I think, we talked about it earlier this week. Obviously, I wasn't here on Friday after the game, but, I saw reports coming out, that the Temple coach was asked about, what was your message to the guys at halftime when you're down 23 points? And he said, I printed out a sheet of the box score from USF, and I passed it around the locker room and said, look, this team was down by 20 points and came back and won that game. If they can do it, you can do it. Memphis is beatable, and you saw how they came out in the second half. And so I think Memphis has put a lot of motivation for other teams in this conference because of the several comments that Penny Hardaway has made, this team has made, and really how they've performed in conference play.
If you talk it, you got to back it up.
Right.
And that's why you're going to get such an inspired crowd. I guarantee you the biggest, loudest crowd of the year. At Jason's Deli, you'll love all the different locations. There's one, I guarantee you, near you, one over by the U of M at Poplar and Highland, Ridgeway Road across from MUS in Olive Branch, and at Cordova, healthy, first franchise in the nation to be trans fat free. And it's all about choice at Jason's Deli. Whether you seek a gluten-free menu, vegetarian sandwiches, healthy kids meals, they've got it for you. If you'd like to invent your sandwich via the build your own, you can. You will be delighted at Jason's Deli. Whether you're dining in, to go, or delivery, wholesome food forever. It's a family thing, and for any catering job, keep them in mind. Bringing more to the family, it's a family thing at Jason's Deli. Low delivery fees, vegetarian, gluten-sensitive options, same-day and last-minute orders welcomed. That's when they really excel. When you think you don't have your event planned quite right, they've got it just right for you. Step aside and let them do it. In all the restaurants, you can get those great salads off the menu, like the Mesa chicken salad, the nutty mixed-up salad, the chicken Caesar salad, the taco salad, all the soups, all the breads, the spreads, the cheeses. Good, very, very delicious food, and over 200 Memphis area associates working hard for your every need. They learned so much through COVID about the catering, about the bulk delivery. They've got it down at Jason's Deli. Plenty of organic food to choose from. The salad bar in every location, over 30 items for you to prepare it however you would like. Again, catering anytime, anywhere. And the complimentary ice cream at Ridgeway Road, Cordova, Olive Branch, Poplar, and Highland. Check them out online as well at jasonsdeli.com.
Well, before we get to a break, we got to get to Tiger Bankroll.
We do.
Right now, North Texas a 1.5-point favorite. Tigers on the road.
Hell, didn't they?
Oh man, I'm nervous about tonight.
All right, who wants to go first?
Johnny.
Oh,
clear your throat.
Johnny, you got thrown in to go first. It choked you up.
Yeah,
hey man, because I'm going against my heart, man.
Whoa.
Hey,
Johnny,
I gotta go against the Tigers, man. I'm picking North Texas for $75.
Wow. Oh, Johnny. That would, if you win, you're back to $1,000, back to where you started.
Back where I started.
That has been a long and winding road,
man.
I was afraid you were going to blow it early.
Hey, man, I was about to ask for a loan.
The interest rates are high, Johnny. I'll just tell you, you got as low as 600, I think.
Man, I told you I was in debt.
585.
Hey, Brett, they had to take my diploma, man, and my degree. So
got you a loan.
Yeah, got me a loan.
All right, Johnny's down. He's at 925. He takes North Texas minus the 1.5. Bryant.
Oh man.
What you thinking?
Tigers really need this one. Give me the Tigers to continue. I'll take them plus 1.5 for, let's see, $100.
100.
Okay. Big baller.
You're at 810. You'll go to 910.
All right, let's hope so.
Or be at 710.
Let's hope so. Let's hope we go up. Like the Jeffersons, moving on up.
I'm at 1435. 13 and
Long
11
game.
pick of the Tigers this year against the spread. The Tigers are 9 and 15 this season against the spread.
Give me $5.
$10 minimum.
I knew he gonna say 10.
But I'm going 4 times that. I'm going $40. North Texas.
Wow.
Minus the 1.5 to win 60-58.
It's gonna be uncomfortable in here tomorrow if you're all right. Tigers lose another one on the road to North Texas.
That's a bad look.
It's not going to be a fun Friday, that's for sure. Hopefully I am right and y'all are wrong. Well, let's go ahead and get to a break, and when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about the Grizzlies. They won last night, but they're back in action tonight before All-Star break. We'll talk Grizzlies next.
Be sure to follow us at Sports56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows. Stay up to date with station events and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports56 WHBQ.
This Sports 56 traffic report is brought to you by Luttrell Building. They keep you moving.
Hey, this is Eli Savoy, and I've got a question for you. Who wants to pay full retail for a pre-owned car or truck when you can buy it at wholesale? Wholesale Unlimited on Pleasant View, right off Covington Pike, has an unlimited selection of super sharp pre-owned cars and trucks you can buy at the wholesale price. And right now, you can use your tax refund as all or part of a down payment and still just pay the wholesale price. Chevy Silverados, F-150s and Ram trucks, Tahoes, Explorers, Jeep Wranglers, Grand Cherokees, Renegades, a Cadillac SRX, Camaros, Mustang convertible, Hyundais. Check it out. Go to wucars.com or Google Wholesale Unlimited Memphis. This is great. Your money goes a long way when you can buy at the wholesale price, and tax refund time makes it even better. Go to Wholesale Unlimited on Pleasant View, just off Covington Pike, with guaranteed approval. Tell them you heard about it right here on Sports 56, and you can thank me later.
They say you can't pick the best barbecue in Memphis.
Who is they?
The people that say things.
Like what?
Well, that you can't pick the best barbecue in Memphis.
Well, that's ridiculous. It's Central Barbecue.
Well, I'm telling you, these people said that you can't even say Central Barbecue is the best barbecue in Memphis.
But it is. There's no better slow-smoked, perfectly cooked barbecue in Memphis or anywhere else.
Look, I'm just saying that they say...
What else do they say?
Well, that the earth is flat.
You have got to get off of social media.
That's what they say as well.
It's a new year, and Family Leisure has a new way to bring family and fun together. All you have to do is walk into Family Leisure and look around. All those floor model patio sets you see, those have got to go. So Family Leisure can make room for all the new sets coming. Get a wicker sofa set for under $2,000. Pool tables under $1,500. Theater seating for under $2,000. Hot tubs for $4,000 or just for yourself. If you really want to lounge, they're under $5,000. Need patio cushions? Get them as low as $25. Oh, have you seen those infrared steam saunas? Well, now they and the traditional saunas are 25% off. It may just be the first few weeks of 2024, but that doesn't mean you can't start getting ready for summer. Two final things. Purchase your above-ground pool now and get first in line for installation, and take advantage of special financing that's available. Family Leisure, Whitten Road and I-40, bringing the family and the fun back together. Admit it. When you start thinking about tastes of Memphis, you think treats, sweets. You think Dinstall's. For 122 years now. What is that, 5 generations? When people wanted something to bring to a party that will just make everybody happy, they bring out Dinstall's. 122 years of cashew crunch, of heavenly hash, of turtlettes, of their award-winning fudge. That's worldwide. It's known that well. Then there's the milk chocolate. It all starts there. There's the double-dip peanuts. And then every fall, those famous chocolate-covered strawberries with that fondant. And they won't tell you what's in the fondant, but it makes it oh so special. And easy to get to. 5 locations. There's where they make the candies in Pleasant View. There's Germantown. There's Collierville. There's even one downtown and in my neck of the woods in Laurelwood. You know what? 122 years made in Memphis and enjoyed by the whole world. Dinstall's.
Memphis, get loud for your Memphis Grizzlies when they face off against the Milwaukee Bucks tonight at 7 p.m. on Adoptable Pet Night. Arrive early. First 5,000 will receive a Grizzlies player pet calendar. Get ready for a star-studded show by securing your tickets at Grizzlies.com.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Oh, Tiger Woods with an opportunity for eagle, you said, Brett?
Eagle. Send it way past.
Yeah, way past. No, we were trying to watch the tail end of that while we were coming back. It was kind of a mess in here.
Did you see Vern Lundquist had made his announcement?
Yes.
This will be his last Masters?
I did see
40th
that.
and final Masters?
Yeah, I love that.
The great Vern Lundquist.
The great. Love Vern Lundquist. Saw that. Glad that he's doing it again. Sad to see him go, but it's going to be fun Masters.
I don't mean this ugly at all. He has even joked about it, so I'm not going there.
Mm-hmm.
it's quite a job for him to get in that tower at 16.
Oh, yeah.
It would be for any of us.
Absolutely.
That's not easy.
No.
And then you're there for a long time, and the few occasions you have to take a break and go to the restroom,
Yes.
it would be difficult doing it quickly.
Yes, no, you're absolutely right about that. But yeah, I mean we're close. The master
Forever Ben Wright was on that hole position, and then Jim Nance when he just covered a hole, he was on 16, and I think that's everybody's. Or I don't know if it's everybody's favorite, but it's one of the favorites at Augusta National.
Absolutely, and I mean, we're getting close.
Tiger,
yeah,
probably had his signature moment.
Oh, absolutely. But I see all the ads on ESPN for it, and I'm getting close,
ready.
getting excited.
What do you think of the Belinda Carlisle rejoin music on some of it for the Masters? A lot of people were outraged by it. I don't mind it.
It doesn't bother me that much.
Doesn't bother me.
It is what it is. But
we know what music will play when they get there.
Oh, absolutely, and it will be glorious. The Grizzlies last night, you were in the house. Hopefully not the loneliest person in attendance.
I was not.
Might have been Dylan Brooks last night after the loss, but the Grizzlies break that losing
And we had
streak.
some intrigue with Grizz and some love
Did
interest.
we?
I don't know how everything
that's good.
ended up.
Did he win? Did he
I don't know.
lose?
It didn't look good there for a little while.
I hate that. But a win nonetheless, 121-113.
Good
over
win.
the Rockets. Yep.
Up 46-23, and I said, I promise you, I said, Greg Gaston, I said, Houston's got us right where they want us.
Well, I
and
mean,
then here it comes.
It's kind of that same game, it seems like, every time you watch the Grizzlies of they're up early, they're playing well, you get to the third quarter, that other team makes that comeback, and then they eventually take the lead in either the third or fourth quarter and win the game. But last night it was different, and the Grizzlies were able to hold on to the lead, and much different from what was that the Pelicans game we were talking about a couple weeks ago, or a couple days ago, I should say, where it was 24 total points scored in the fourth quarter. This one, both teams were scoring a ton in the fourth quarter. Grizzlies outscored the Rockets 37-32 in the fourth quarter.
And Jaren Jackson had a big fourth quarter because up to that, Alperen Sengun.
Oh, I love Alperen Sengun. Great player.
Had destroyed him.
Oh, man, he is an unbelievable player. Young guy, too, for the Rockets. He's great. I love him.
But I joke with Rob. We don't joke. I text with Rob Fisher sometimes during the game of look at this fivesome out there. Last night, this might have been the all-timer. There was on the floor Stevens, Jackson, Goodwin, Kennard, Williams.
Yeah. Which Jackson?
Gigi.
There we go. That's what I figured. You put that in front of somebody before the season, and
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, they would have said, what team is this? But Lamar Stevens played really well last night, and I know you were in attendance.
He even ran some time at the 5.
Yeah. Well, and you were at the game, so obviously you weren't watching the broadcast, but I mean, on the broadcast, really most of the fourth quarter, a lot of the game, but most of the fourth quarter, every single possession, both offensive and defensive, you would hear the name Stevens. He was getting a rebound.
It was inspired play.
I mean, it was really, really fun to watch him. He finished with 14 points, 8 rebounds, an assist, 2 blocks. A really good game, and even people after the game saying
Jordan Goodwin was good.
Jordan Goodwin was good in his first game, and Rob interviewed both of them.
And
after
Rob
the
texted
game.
back to me last night. I said, "Boy, this 5." He said. And the text back was just Billikens.
Well, he asked Jordan Goodwin after the game in his walk-off interview, Jordan, you just joined the team. Do you even know all of your teammates' names yet? I mean, you just got here and you're playing 24 minutes. I mean, that's incredible for both of those guys, really.
Rookie minimum around what? 900,000, $1 million?
Yeah, something about that.
Divided by 82. Boy, I'm trying to do this with my shoes on, John. I would say easy 10 grand made per game.
Yeah.
By those guys.
Yeah.
That I don't think they were probably counting on a month ago.
Rookie minimum is $953,000. So, yeah. That's, good paycheck.
Way to go.
Good day. Good day in the office.
It was fun in the building.
It was.
And sure will be tonight. A little bit later start tonight. Yep. I shouldn't say that in Memphis since we're such a late arriving crowd.
Yes, very late arriving. But no, a good win nonetheless tonight. Should be fun. Who knows what you'll get against the Bucks. Maybe you can catch them. They want to be on vacation. A lot of those guys going to All-Star weekend. So maybe the Grizzlies can win another one tonight and look really, really good going into the All-Star of break. But we need to get to a break and wrap up this hour. When we come back, we're talking more NBA with Keith Smith.
Shop, compare, and save from hundreds of experts to turn your dream home into a reality. We have everything to help you remodel, refresh, and beautify your home inside and out. So come on out to the Home Show of the Mid-South, February 16th through the 18th at the Agri Center. You'll find special show pricing on kitchens, baths, patios and landscaping, flooring, cabinets, windows, roofing. It's all at the Home Show of the Mid-South, February 16th through the 18th at the Agri Center. For more info, visit memphishomeshow.com. That's memphishomeshow.com.
Welcome to the Rendezvous.
This is John Vergas. When my dad started the Rendezvous in 1948, I don't think anyone could have imagined we'd still be serving shoulder, cheese plates, and our world-famous dry rub ribs 75 years later. But we are still here in the basement, in an alley in downtown Memphis. We sincerely thank you for making the Rendezvous what it is today. Charlie Vergas Rendezvous, serving the official barbecue of the Memphis Grizzlies.
The President's Day weekend sale is here at Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Don't miss incredible deals like 20% off used clubs, 30% off select apparel, and get custom fit on the new TaylorMade QI10 drivers. Book your free custom fitting online today. Swing into Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf for the President's Day weekend sale, or shop us online at worldwidegolf.com. Get there.
This is hard to believe, but the Hyundai Santa Fe is actually better? I know, that's crazy, isn't it? The 2024 Santa Fe is new, top to bottom, and even better than before. It's almost as big as the Palisade, so roomy, and now it's got a standard third row. Everybody's clamoring for that. And it's the best SUV when it comes to the ride than ever before. You know how with SUVs you love it because you're sitting high, but you don't get that luxury kind of ride like a sedan? You do with the 2024 Santa Fe. It's the best riding SUV ever, and it's quiet. It's the ultimate family car. All you've got to do to be sold is to test drive it. The people at Homer Skelton Hyundai are saying, come try it. You'll love it. Homer Skelton Hyundai, right at the corner of Highway 78 and Craft Road. First exit in Mississippi. Go see the ultimate SUV, the 2024 Santa Fe.
Chris Price, it's so good to see you. And you have a new business?
Yes, Dave. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Have you noticed water stains on your ceiling? With storm season here, take a walk around your home or business and look up. Make sure there are no water stains signaling a leak prior to the heavy storms coming in. If you do see signs of water, call me. My team and I will come out, diagnose the problem, and prescribe a fix. Our team of Hague-certified inspectors are waiting to assist with any inspection or repairs you may need. We have 3 crews dedicated to repairing roofs in the Mid-South. As certified Owens Corning and Mule High dealers, we offer 20-year, no-dollar limit labor and material warranties that offer hassle-free ownership. That's our hassle-free ownership guarantee. Allow Metro Builders team of professionals to assist you in maintaining your property's integrity and value. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Your local commercial roof experts. Ask about our commercial roof maintenance agreements. Protect your investment with MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Call me, 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717. 375-1717.
This Sports 56 traffic report is brought to you by Luttrell Building. They keep you moving.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. It's already starting to pick up over here on 240 East from Mill Branch out to 385 as you get on to Bill Morris Parkway, headed out to Collierville. Lots of radar out here on this gorgeous afternoon, especially in parts of Arkansas. As you continue over towards Forest City, passing West Memphis, be careful. Lots of radar. I'm telling you, they're getting people left and right. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64 is your full-service, family-owned jewelry store here in Memphis. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Time to talk NBA with Keith Smith from Spot Rack and the Front Office Show, and on Twitter X at Keith Smith NBA. Here's Keith Smith talking basketball with Bryant and Brett.
Keith Smith joins us from Spot Track and the Front Office Show to talk all things NBA. Keith, thanks so much for joining us, and I want to start off with the situation that went down last night in Phoenix between Isaiah Stewart and Drew Eubanks before the game. In Phoenix, kind of quirky. They used the same tunnel and I guess some sort of altercation before the game. Yeah, that'll get changed. But an altercation before the game, and Isaiah Stewart punches Drew Eubanks and sounds like from reports was arrested after that and taken away by the police. What have you learned of what happened last night? What did you make of the situation in Phoenix?
Yeah, I haven't learned anything that hasn't already been reported. It's a weird thing and a not good thing at all for the league. Not good for Isaiah Stewart. This is another incident where he's had a couple things. He's had the very public where he went after LeBron, and it took a long time to get him settled down and off the court. And then there's been a couple other things that have happened, nothing major, but just little things like this. And then this seems like it kind of came out of nowhere. And we'll find out eventually. Sure, some will have whatever the story is and whatever gets the two of them getting into it like that. But Isaiah Stewart's not even playing right now. He's injured. So this is a whole other part of it, too. So I'm really not sure what happened with this. But I'm expecting the league going to come down on him and probably come down on him pretty hard.
And, Keith, this is a good example, I think, for any league, whether it's the NBA or other sports. You've got to handle your own business, whether it's on the court, off the court, a legal matter, or whether it's negotiating. You don't want anything to land in front of Congress or the authorities. You've got to handle it, and you've got to make sure it doesn't happen again. And this ended up, unfortunately, but I think properly, it was assault, simple assault.
Yeah, and it's interesting. My wife was actually pointing out today. She's like, if he did it in a game, it would just be an ejection, and they'd move on, and the league would handle it however they handle it. And this case, though, because it was outside of the context of playing in a game, it turns into a whole other story. So not good stuff for Isaiah Stewart, and we'll see where this goes further. My guess is it probably won't go any further legally than what's already happened, and then now next will be the court of the NBA coming down and handing down whatever suspension they come down with and whatnot.
And we know that Adam Silver will move quickly, and we know Keith Smith, David Stern would have really ruled quickly. Yeah, probably. You also have the fact that the All-Star festivities start tomorrow, so they're going to want to get this done. My guess is probably either, if not later today, but first thing tomorrow morning, so it's not taking anything away from what's supposed to be a celebration of the game and everything that makes it so great. They're going to want to have that all wrapped up before then.
We mentioned the All-Star festivities starting this weekend. Only a couple of games tonight. I think only supposed to be 2 games, but then the remake of the Warriors game after the sudden passing of their assistant coach. Grizzlies, one of those teams in action tonight. They got a win last night over the Rockets. What have you made of this Grizzlies team? They're continuing to fight. It seems like every week we talk, it seems like we kind of have the feeling here of, well, they're fighting, but that fight's gonna end soon. These losses are gonna continue to pile up. But a good win for kind of a lot of new players and young guys last night against the Rockets.
Yeah, it absolutely was. And they're playing really hard, and that's a testament to the players and the coaching staff. They've got these guys not just giving in. It would have been very easy for them to kind of punt on things and say, well, it is what it is, and let's just kind of play out the string on this. And they've instead of gone the other way of, hey, we're going to play hard. It doesn't go their way, every night. I think if I've got my memory correct, I want to say they're like 1-9 in the last 10 games or so. But they're in a lot of these games. They're playing hard. It's when they do fall out of it, it's generally a talent deficits that they just can't make up, but they're making lemonade out of lemons here, where it is poor season, but we got a bunch of guys that we're starting to figure out what they can do and get looks at some other guys and things like that, and that's all you can really hope for in this kind of lost season due to injury.
Keith, last Friday afternoon, midday or so, Zach Kleiman had a local media availability, and at that he said he felt like there was a championship window. Now, you could dissect that to being maybe a Western Conference championship or an NBA championship. That's the only 2 you can win if you're in Memphis. Do you think the Grizzlies are in a championship window years?
Right, you're going to discount the in-season tournament championship like that? Come on, now.
Keith, I kind of did.
Wow.
No, yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean, there is a window, right? The NBA contracts are structured so that things, even when you sign one of those ones where it's like, oh, God, what did we do? It's over in 4 or 5 years. So at most of these windows are going to be somewhere between a 3 to 6 or 7 year window. And I would say Memphis, they're probably squarely in the prime of whatever their window is. You've got a bunch of good young players that are under contract, but the team's starting to get expensive. That's going to be a point where we've already seen, right? It costs them a guy like David Roddy, who is a drafted and developed player. We'll see if that costs them another player or two this coming offseason. Steven Adams, that was primarily a cost-saving move for next year of trading him. So we're going to see what that looks like for them as they go. But everybody, once you kind of get there and establish yourself as one of the top, somewhere in, let's say, the top 10 teams in the league, which Memphis clearly had, you're in a spot where, all right, your window's kind of open now, and then it's up to you on how long you can keep that window open for.
Well, you're so right about that money. Next year, even John Conchar gets more expensive.
Yeah, it's just the nature of things. Especially, as the teams are good, you start adding, you start re-signing guys. It gets more and more expensive to re-sign players and the like. And what all of a sudden you look up one day and it's, instead of being the fun up-and-coming team with a whole bunch of guys on rookie-scale contracts, all of a sudden now it's, wait a minute, we got 3-4 guys making $25, $30, $35 million per season, and maybe we got 1 or 2 guys on the backside of that are going to want to get paid too. And then all of a sudden you're in a spot where it's, all right, well, we can't afford to keep everybody. And then that's where we have to start making some decisions, even if they've pride, Memphis, right? We draft and we develop and we try to keep these guys. Well, once you get into a point with some of these guys, you can't keep them all. And it's, whether it's a roster spot thing or it becomes it's just untenable to pay everybody, you start having to make some tough decisions.
The Grizzlies are going to be in a good draft spot. Tell us out there in free agency. We'll ask you this 19 times between now and the end of free agency. What's out there doable for the Grizzlies in free agency that's realistic?
Yeah, I think they're probably going to get off of at least one more contract here, which will open up the ability to spend a little bit of money this offseason to kind of round out the roster. They're in a good place where they're not trying to fill 5 open roster spots and be in just under the second apron or anything. They've only got realistically 1 or 2 roster spots to fill. So I think they're in pretty good shape there. So I think, they'll be aggressive. The Marcus Smart move, it didn't work out. Let's say that, we'll call it what it is. Didn't work out the way they'd hoped. Not his fault, not really anybody's fault that guys got hurt, him included. But I think, there's a chance to, all right, let's relook at that. Is it better served to run it back with Marcus Smart in the role we envisioned for him with a mostly healthy roster? Is it better to flip him and turn him into something else trade-wise? So they're going to be involved in spending power. They don't have a ton. They're not sitting on $20 million in cap space or anything, but they'll have enough room to kind of fill up their bench. Their big thing is they need a couple more of the kids to take a step forward, and then, of course, you got to get the main guys healthy and on the floor.
Absolutely. Well, it was announced earlier this week that Vince Williams Jr. will participate in the Rising Stars game during All-Star Weekend, the only Grizzly to be participating in anything during All-Star Weekend. I think Dyson Daniels was injured, so he replaced the injured player. But for Vince Williams Jr., and we've talked about him a lot with you, but to go from a two-way contract that spent the whole season last year in South Haven, started the season this year with the G League team, to then have to come up and play real minutes, to then be put on a standard contract, and then get a shot at the Rising Stars game. I mean, how big has this first part of the year been for Vince Williams Jr.?
Massive. I mean, it's completely unexpected come up. Now, I don't know that anybody maybe thought this was coming outside of the Williams family.
Right.
I don't even think the Grizzlies thought this was coming. Otherwise, they might not add him on a two-way. But, yeah, he's been really, really good. And a lot of that is he shot the ball really well. That's been a big part of it. But plays really hard. He defends. What I've liked seeing is they've gone through it at the guard position, whether it's injuries or two-way guys trying to conserve the amount of games they can play and whatnot. they've put the ball in his hands a lot more. He's had some really nice assist games recently too. So now what you're seeing is, even in a down season, you get a guy like Vince Williams. You figure out, all right, Vince Williams can really play for us, and now we have a rotation player for $2 million on average over the next few years, and that's huge for Memphis, because as we talked about, as the rest of the roster gets more expensive, you got to find these guys on the value contracts, and that's exactly what they've done. And it's really, really good to see, because this is the kind of stuff that the next guy who maybe is picking between the Grizzlies and another organization for a two-way contract, he may say, you know what, I've seen Memphis turn some of these two-way guys into something. I'll go there and see if they can help me get to where I want to be as a player too.
Keith, what is your favorite part of All-Star Weekend?
I like the three-point contest. It's always, I
that
grew
goes
up
back
on
to your Larry Bird love. I knew it.
Yep, going in and asking everybody who's finishing in second that night.
You got that right.
But I will say, when the dunk contest is really good, it's a lot of fun too. The skills competition is fun. I like All-Star Saturday. The game I kind of can do without. I'll have it on while I'm doing other things and catching up on some other stuff.
Same.
And mostly my whole hope with the game is nobody gets hurt.
Yeah.
Let's have some fun. And everybody who likes to check in Sunday night, Monday morning with, like nobody was playing hard and nobody was getting it after defensively. Good. That means that they're treating an All-Star game how it should be treated.
Right. I'm still holding out for someone getting to 200.
Yeah, it's going to happen at some point.
Yeah.
We're going to have the right combination of no defense, up-tempo, and guys hitting enough shots. But it's coming at some point.
Keith, when you look around the NBA, what team needed All-Star break more than anybody else because of injuries or just a losing streak? Who was really looking forward to All-Star break?
Yeah, I think the New York Knicks, they'd been playing such good basketball atop the Eastern Conference behind Boston. They were right in the mix for the 2 seed for a little bit there, and they're just going through it. Injuries right now. It seems like every night they lose another key player. They've lost 4 games in a row. So I think for them, this All-Star break is hitting at a good time. And some of the guys who are on these 2, 3, 4 week injuries, this week off is good because you're not losing any game time for them. Then if we flip over to the Western Conference, it's a combination of, I think they're just kind of tired with the regular season in general. But I think the Nuggets are in a spot where they've got a couple guys who are dinged up, and I think those guys not being All-Stars is actually going to be beneficial for the Nuggets in the end, because they're able to go, they're probably already on a beach with their feet up somewhere and just relaxing. So that I think is really good for them. And again, another team that slips a little bit, but I'm not really worried about Denver at all. I just think they're in a spot where just get us to the playoffs. We know what it takes now. We don't really care about pushing for 50, 55, 60 regular season wins. There's just no need. We just got to have home court series in the first, maybe second round, and go from there.
How close was LeBron to being a teammate of Steph Curry in Golden State?
I don't think it got very close. It sounds like that got shut down pretty quickly. My guess for LeBron was he doesn't want to move in season like that. I think he's more thinking, hey, if I'm doing something, it's going to be in the summertime, but I can kind of control things a little bit more. I can pick through a few destinations, and I can make sure I get a couple guys to come with me wherever I'm going. And I also have to wonder if he looked at the Warriors and kind of said, man, you're going to have to give up 2-3 guys to get me. Then I'm coming in, and you're behind me in the stands. Mm-hmm. Like I don't know that I'm going to any better of a situation. So I will say, though, I think what this did was at least open the door for the LeBron and the Lakers may not be a long-term, multi-year marriage. This one may be over sooner than I think a lot of us thought it would be.
Where is he opening night 23-24? Or I'm sorry, 24-25?
Yeah, if I had to bet on anywhere, I would say it's still the Lakers, because I think they're going to do what they can to try to keep him happy, and maybe that even includes drafting Bronny if that's what it takes. But if not there, I think he was very pointed and definitely mentioned for a reason that he thought there'd always be a point in his career where he might play for the Knicks. I wouldn't be surprised if something goes down there. I think Philadelphia is going to be in the mix to maybe try to convince him to join up there. But I don't think, as much as people are dreaming about he could go to the Thunder and be the last guy, or maybe he'll join up with the Orlando Magic or something like that. I don't think any of that's going to happen, but we'll see. First sign of this will be, does he opt in or out of his player option? And the other thing with that, he'll know what the draft order and the draft results are before he ever has to make that option decision. So that's going to be a big one too.
If he ever went to the Knicks, would he demand they draft Bronny?
I don't know. It's interesting because some people tell you he is really telling teams, he's kind of sent through the back channels of, hey, if you want me, you better draft Bronny because my intention is if I leave the Lakers is to play with him. Then I've had other people tell me he doesn't want to put that on Bronny. He wants Bronny to be able to forge his own career. There's also a lot of
it's going to be hard enough
saying,
anyway.
Yeah, exactly. There's also a lot of people out there who have said Bronny may not come out this year. He may choose to go back and kind of see it through, maybe in a better situation for himself. As we all know, missed the first part of this year and everything. So he may want to have a normal summer and a normal ramp up into a college season and hopefully a better season. But it's going to be interesting if all of a sudden Bronny James is getting drafted in the middle of the first round or something. That's definitely going to have my eyebrows raised, wondering, all right, are they making a play for Dad too?
I wouldn't put it past any team. Speaking of the Lakers and the Warriors, right now in the standings, they're 9 and 10. Lakers at 9, and the Warriors at 10. When you look at these two teams coming out of All-Star break, who do you have the most faith in at where they are right now to make a playoff push?
Yeah, it sounds weird because they are behind, but I'm going to go with the Warriors. They've been playing really good basketball lately, as have the Lakers. But the one thing with the Lakers is we've seen LeBron James and Anthony Davis mostly be healthy this season, and they're still down there in ninth place in the Western Conference. So what I'm a little worried about is what happens if one of those guys picks up one of those 3 or 4 week injuries, like they both are prone to do. If that happens, they're probably in trouble. Not in trouble as far as missing a play-in tournament, but I don't think we're going to see them climbing up the standings at all. The Warriors, they're playing pretty good. It feels like a lot of maybe their troubles are behind them in some senses. And I have said this all along. I'm going to be a year too late on the Warriors. They're going to have to really be down and bad and have it really look over before I'm probably going to admit, like, all right, yeah, that's probably it. It's done with that run, just because I believe in that core so much.
We, like most people, really enjoyed the Shaquille O'Neal retirement ceremony in Orlando. Who's out there that you think deserves to have a jersey retired by a team that hadn't yet? Is there an outlandish case of one?
That's a good question. I really don't. Nobody kind of jumps right to mind for me of that. I know there was a long time coming where there was a thought on a handful of teams of, hey, we're going to really tone this down. Well, we're not going to do
a little too much ceremony.
Unless the guy becomes an all-time or for us. But yeah, I mean, there was a long time where it didn't look like the Magic were going to do it for Shaq, and then they finally, I think, said, hey, we got to own this guy was a huge part of our early history and a big part of why people even know the Orlando Magic is because Shaq was here, and that was pretty cool to see. And so nobody's really jumping to mind for me, but yeah, I'm sure if I really thought about it for a while, someone might pop up.
Dwight Howard someday in Orlando?
Yeah, that one's going to be really, really interesting because you can make the case his peak was just as good as Shaq was for the Mavericks, not overall.
And got them as far as a team.
Yeah. He did, and Dwight was, people forget, there was a period of time where Dwight Howard was by far and away the best center in the NBA. It wasn't even particularly close. So I think, that's something where, as we kind of, we recognize that's huge. But it ended pretty ugly. It's been a long time since he left. And they never did get all the way there. They didn't win a title. They didn't do, all the best things. So I think that might be one where let's give it another, 5, 6, 7 years after Dwight's been gone. And maybe when we're a decade into his retirement, maybe the Magic do start thinking a little bit differently and maybe start thinking about putting number 12 up in the rafters too.
Keith, last thing for you. Last night, the Celtics obliterated the Nets 136-86. I know one game does not mean anything, but when you look at this Nets team, obviously a year ago, 2 years ago, we were talking about what this team could be with that big three they had, and that never worked out. They ended up trading everybody from that group. But now when you look at the Nets, what direction do you see this franchise going in? Because they made some moves at this trade deadline that I don't know. I didn't really understand. What do you see them doing in the next year or so?
Yeah, I'm afraid I'm not going to be a whole lot of help to you because I don't really understand it either. They're unlike the Bulls, who have made it clear that they are perfectly content to sit just in contention for the postseason every year. Mm-hmm. The Nets have said, they want to contend for championships and they want to do this stuff, but then they didn't do anything towards adding guys that can do that. They didn't do anything towards, all right, let's pick up draft capital and really try to improve our standing that way. And it's a very odd situation there in Brooklyn. And I'll tell you, I've watched, you guys know I watch everybody.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a team in the last couple weeks that looks more ready for either the All-Star break or maybe even the season to just be over more than Brooklyn. Like those guys in that game last night, they just didn't care. They were just absolutely going through the motions outside of a couple of the bench guys when they got in there. But for the most part, it was just, all right, do whatever you want to do. We're just getting in some cardio and we're off on vacation. And it's a not great situation there in Brooklyn. They've got an awful lot to figure out, and they had opportunities to reclaim some of their own picks in trades, chose not to do it. So I'm going to be very curious to see what they look like to hear going into the next transaction cycle with the draft in the offseason.
I mean, 32 points in the first half for them last night against Boston. That's incredible. I mean, I've never heard of that in an NBA game.
Yeah, I mean, the Celtics played some pretty good defense at points, but there are a lot of points where the Nets didn't exactly make it hard on them either. They were pretty content to want one pass and let a shot fly, and all right, I'm not really going to try too hard to get around guys. There's a lot of ways you can tell when a team's kind of out of it for the night is they're not running in to set screens. They're not fighting on the board. It's just kind of one shot and up and lightly jog back on defense, and there's a whole lot of that from Brooklyn last night.
Well, Keith, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy All-Star Weekend, and we'll do it again next week.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Keith. Thanks so much. Keith Smith with us talking the NBA, and I'm going to throw one at you when we come back from the break about retired numbers because we've been pretty consistent. If you want a statue, you want to retire a number, it's your business.
Absolutely.
But I'm going to take it to college. Also, I'm going to take it to All-Star Chevrolet. That's down Highway 78, first exit into Mississippi, Kraft Goodman Road, and you're there. And if you're ready for a new Silverado, that's the place to be. All-Star Chevy right there in Olive Branch with financing down to 2.9 for 72 months or up to $5,000 back in cash. Plus, you make no payments for 90 days. Your good credit deserves it. And that's the place to be at All-Star. It's still the month of love, and you'll love all the vehicles in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevrolet. The new Silverados, Trailblazers, Equinox, Tahoes. You're going to love seeing this All-Star lot and showroom. It's loaded up again. You want pre-owned? Everything you want's right there at All-Star. Ram trucks, Nissan Rogue, Jeeps, Traverse with third-row seating so you can do more together. Where are you going for Easter or spring break, and what are you driving? Military, teachers, college students, healthcare workers, all get an extra $500 bonus back. Everyone at All-Star, they're ready to see you, having everything you're looking for. If it's not at All-Star, just ask Kevin or Jeff, and they'll find it for you. Remember, it's not South Haven, Bartlett, Mount Moriah, or Collierville. It's got to be Olive Branch. Come on down to All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch or go to allstarautogroup.com.
Well, we're going to get to a break, but Brett, we might need to rejoice. Breaking news, Rob Manfred says his tenure as MLB commissioner will end in early 2029.
My tenure may end before 2029.
I mean, that is a
Manfred's
long time.
going to outlast me.
I mean, it's 2024. Why are we 2029? Why even announce it?
Having a special announcement on New Year's Eve that he's back?
Good Lord. I don't even know what that is.
What is a man named Fred pops up.
Crazy.
2029? What will baseball look like?
Oh, man. What else will he ruin?
Did Tiger do what I think he did on his second shot on 18?
Oh, man.
That S word we don't like mentioning.
Brett, I have the video to show you during the break. It's bad.
It was almost 90-degree shank.
It was really bad. Yeah.
An incredible third shot.
Oh, yeah. No, got out of it really well. I think ended up bogeying, but still out of that bogey's
second,
great.
Ooh, that went out sideways.
No, it was
a bad
ugly.
visual.
Very bad. Well, we need to get to a break, and when we come back, we'll talk what's gone on the past couple of nights in college basketball. That's next.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Are you ready to start a rewarding career that's bigger than you? Join us on Saturday, February 17th, 2024 from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. for our hiring expo at the Memphis Police Academy, 4731 Academy Drive. Salary starts at $54,611, increasing to $72,000 after 3 years. If you want to serve the Memphis community, join the Best in Blue. For more information or details, visit joinmpd.com.
The President's Day sales event is on strong at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike. How about 0% for 72 months on all 2024 Ram 1500 Bighorns? Yeah, 0 for 72 on 2024 Ram 1500 Bighorns. How about $8,000 off 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limiteds? We Gossett at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike. And how about your new 2023 Dodge Charger $27,990? There's no reason to shop anywhere else. Get to Gossett on the Pike today. New 2023 Charger $27,990, 2024 Grand Cherokee Limited, $8,000 off and 0 for 72 on all 2024 Bighorns. So drive past the rest and come to the best Gossett on the Pike or shop online GossettMotorCars.net. If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motorcars. Charger PH 508-657, MSRP 35,930, Cherokee PC 662620, MSRP 55,760, includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-583-5795. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-583-5795. That's 800-583-5795. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Step up your wings game at East Coast Wings and Grill. With 60 wing flavors and 7 heat indexes, do you have what it takes to turn the heat on your wings up to insanity? East Coast Wings and Grill is family friendly with a large variety menu to satisfy the whole bunch. Sign up today for their loyalty program and taste the rewards. For every dollar you spend, you collect a point. Earn 100 points and receive a $5 reward. Next to Lowe's off Highway 64 in Bartlett, come try America's best wings at East Coast Wings and Grill.
Memphis basketball is working towards March with 2 big home games coming up. It's a blackout with the first 3,000 fans receiving a free black t-shirt for the game against Charlotte on Wednesday, February 21st at 7 o'clock. And then a big-time matchup for revenge against Florida Atlantic on Sunday, February 25th at 1 o'clock for the Stripe Out. Limited tickets remain for the Florida Atlantic game. Purchase your tickets at GoTigersGo.com/tickets.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawild Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. A couple of spots where we're watching it pick up like 240 southbound at South Parkway all the way down to Norris as traffic increases over here on this side of town on 240 onto 385 Bill Morris Parkway. Yes, it's still busy at times over here, 240 east up by Poplar. Hey, 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services here in Memphis. It's Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. They're online at tomahawkcrane.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
All right, I asked Keith Smith that question about anybody standing out in NBA.
Yeah.
And that's a tough one, and I don't know that I have one. Do you have anybody in Tiger basketball history that hadn't had a number retired? And here are the numbers. 13, Forrest Arnold. 21, the great Larry Finch. 22, Win Wilfong. 24, Keith Lee. 25, Penny Hardaway. 33, Ronnie Robinson. 34, Elliott Perry. 35, Larry Keenan. 44, John Gunn. And 55, Lorenzen Vergagne Wright. Who should be retired that's not on that list?
That's a really good question. It's tough. I mean,
I would go old school and say have a ceremony. I know 22's retired for Win Wilfong.
Yeah.
Bring back Bobby Parks and bring back Dexter Reed.
Yeah. I would like that. I'm gonna try to keep it newer, and teams I actually saw, players I actually saw. I mean, you'd think Derrick Rose, but that it's a little. I think everyone before it, but
Dual ceremony. His number goes up, banner goes back up.
Oh, I would love that. Let's do it.
I agree with that. I love that.
To you, NCAA.
But I think
I
think Joey Dorsey.
What number for Joe?
Well, that's a good question. CDR could have a word. I mean,
that's a good one.
I like
right
CDR.
there.
I love CDR. I mean,
that is
I wouldn't mind
seeing.
But now he's not CDR anymore. He's Supreme Bay. So,
Understood.
I guess you just.
He'd have to understand for the ceremony, wouldn't he?
Got to go by Chris Douglas Roberts. We can't hang up Supreme Bay
from the '80s era that is golden to so many of us.
Oh yeah.
One stands out: Andre Turner.
Oh, absolutely.
Not
absolutely. Yeah, no, that's a big one. It's a really big one.
But you could almost go through that whole list, especially people of mine and your parents' age. Baskerville Holmes could be on there.
Well, there's certainly a list
Doom Haynes could be on
of
there.
guys that you could definitely make a case for.
I mentioned Bobby Parks. He was in that
Yeah.
vintage.
Yeah, absolutely. No, there's some really good names.
Tyreek, 1 year, like Derrick Rose, Sweet 16.
Yeah, you could convince me. To convince me Reek gets his jersey retired.
Sure could.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
I could get behind it. But yeah, I mean, there's certainly a list, but you can't get all jersey retire crazy. Then
why can't you?
Because then you end up like the Yankees, and you're throwing out
But we have odd numbers now.
That's
true. The idea of seeing somebody wearing, anything higher than 5.
Yeah.
Or like a 16 or a 17 or 18.
Yeah.
You wouldn't at one time.
That's true. I think we need to get a couple in there.
If you had to play wearing number 38 for the Tigers, what would it hurt?
You'd be surprised.
Some players.
Johnny knows what I mean. You'd be surprised.
The pride will hurt, man. They want them numbers, man.
38's
the duplicate numbers in football.
I had a buddy. Well,
it drives me crazy.
Hey, man. When I tell you the duplicate numbers in football, oh my goodness, everybody want a low digit. Nobody wants no high digit numbers, man.
I had a buddy that walked on at Memphis, and he was a receiver, and his number was 38, and he didn't really have a problem with it, but because he just had a number, and but I mean the jokes that. Me and my buddies, man, 38 as a receiver?
Oh man.
That's an ugly number.
If you hear the conversations about somebody who got a 30 number at receiver, they thinking, man, he ain't going to be here long.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have some guys that come in, especially basketball, and say, I can't wear number 11, I can't wear number 1.
I'm not coming here.
And in recruiting, those coaches would tell them anything.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
You have 10 numbers.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you want to wear number 1 and number 2, 1 on the front, 2 on the back? Perfect. We'll get it all stitched up and ready to go.
I'm trying to think in the NFL, any receivers that were ever great wearing in the 30s.
I'm sure there's somebody.
Well, I don't have anything. Cliff Branch was 21 for the Raiders.
Yeah.
Fred Biletnikoff was 25 for the Raiders.
Yeah. There's got to be somebody out there.
Well, I don't have one.
I mean, it's in the 30s. I mean, it's going to take some time to find one, but I think you can find one at least.
I don't know of any.
No, but we do need to get some jerseys retired, some numbers retired at Memphis. I think certainly a handful of guys deserving of it.
And we will get there with Seth Hennigan someday in Tiger football.
Well, and that's another question.
What number?
Seth Hennigan. Well, and I told you during the break, we had this discussion during the break. You know, his thing is
to be his last.
Changes numbers every year. I think he's playing the long game. I think he wants a statue. And so he says, forget a jersey. Just build a bronze statue of me. We don't need a number on a bronze statue.
He could have that someday.
Yeah, he could, absolutely.
He's going to obliterate the record book. And if he takes Memphis Tigers to the playoffs.
Yeah. Whoa. Next year, if he takes the Tigers, if the Tigers make the playoffs and he's a part of it, everything.
Most legendary quarterback in Tiger football history.
Yes. I mean, forget jersey number, statue,
and wherever he
name,
might go
field,
in the NFL draft does not matter.
No, who cares?
It's what he did at Memphis.
Well, and that's what
because it didn't work out for CDR in the NBA.
No. Well, and that's the thing. There is a big difference between college athletics and pro sports. I mean, it is completely different. Me and John were talking about this the other day there are a lot of, especially in we were having the conversation about basketball, and I mean, you look back at Player of the Year winners over the last couple of years, and there are a lot of guys that just don't pan out in the NBA, and I think, it's the same thing in football.
Even MOPs of Final Four.
Absolutely, and it's the same thing in football, and so I think, you could see, plenty of guys that, are stars, and I think Seth Hennigan could be one. I think if Seth Hennigan has another great year, and the Tigers are in the college football playoffs, I think he is a guy that goes 5th or 6th round. I think somebody would take a stab at him and see, what could we maybe have here? But it wouldn't matter. It's all matters of what he did here at Memphis.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, Brian, because they actually reclassed his class. I forgot. I think it was the athletic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he was number 10 on the list.
And
so.
he was like number 75 in his class
yes.
out of high school. And
so especially this quarterback class coming up, he will have opportunity, especially if he get opportunity to go to the Senior Bowl or the Shrine Bowl.
And he will.
Yeah, which he will. So he'll get opportunity to go in them rounds, the 5th round. I can honestly see that. Especially if they have a great year.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Well, Brett, before we get to a break talking college basketball, we mentioned it a little bit earlier, but what Auburn did last night at home against South Carolina, shot 60% from 3, just looked like, watching that game, it looked like two completely different levels of teams playing each other. And South Carolina, we've seen over these last couple of weeks, is a very talented team, but going down there playing at Auburn, it is a completely different challenge for teams.
South Carolina's net's not that gaudy.
No.
Their ranking is, and that goes to show again that the rankings really don't mean much. South Carolina at 51, but Auburn was impressive last night. I'm stealing this from Kevin Sweeney. Last night on Twitter, he did the Field of 68 show, and he had the premise of this could be this year's UConn. If Auburn roll through the tournament like UConn did last year, that's not going to surprise anyone.
No, I don't think so.
And we're going to be looking for this year's UConn.
Oh yeah, and it's the same thing that we were doing last year in college football, where everyone was looking for that TCU.
Texas Tech be that?
Certainly could. I mean, I don't know Grant McCasland his first year. I don't know if I trust him that much, but they could be. Mm-hmm. Certainly fits that bill. But I think there's going to be a lot of people come March when Auburn, if they show up in the Sweet 16, there are going to be a lot of people that say, I didn't expect Auburn to do this. What, they weren't picked to be top 3 in the SEC preseason. Where did this come from? And, but if you go and watch them and watch these games, I mean, they are an incredibly impressive team.
Way, way, way in advance. The Tigers go to Maui next year.
They do, and that's going to be played in Maui next year.
It is, and and it's the year that Chaminade's not in.
I hate that.
Have you seen that field?
I can't think of it right now, but I'm sure if you gave me some of the names, I'd remember.
It would not shock me if 3 of the Final 4 this year is at Maui. UConn, North Carolina,
oh man,
Auburn, That would be maybe Michigan. I don't know about Michigan State, but Michigan State's in the
if you
field.
got Izzo, I mean, I don't want to bet against you.
Iowa State, Dayton, Colorado, and the Tigers. What a loaded Thanksgiving!
I gotta book my tickets. Y'all want somebody to go to Maui to cover the tournament? I mean,
I'm at a place for travel packages right now.
Wow. Well,
Sun Surfs and Hoops.
Sun Surfs and Hoops. That's certainly a title.
What a field!
That's incredible. I mean, Maui's always great. But
any first round game that'll be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of Thanksgiving week. A lot of daytime games because of the time. Any first round game. Dayton will be tough.
I was about to say, who do you want? Who do you want as your first game out of that?
I'll take my chances with Dayton.
I don't know. I'd maybe Colorado's going to lose some people to the NBA this year. Maybe say Colorado. I don't know. I don't want to fight Dayton. Dayton's good every year.
What if you're out there in first round games against back-to-back national champs UConn?
Good luck. I mean, good luck. But hey, it'd be great for that non-conference schedule to be able to look back and hopefully you can pull off a couple wins in Maui and look back and
I'll take 2-1 right now in Maui.
Yeah. Take 2-1 any day of the week. But let's go ahead and get to a break. When we come back, it'll be time for Big Number of the Day.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Join the Heindel Center for the Performing Arts for an evening with Cal Ripken Jr. February 22nd and celebrate a true champion. Ironman Cal Ripken Jr. played 2,632 consecutive games for the Baltimore Orioles. This 19-time All-Star, 2-time American League MVP, and Baseball Hall of Fame inductee is a true baseball icon. Get tickets at HeindelCenter.org to see Cal Ripken Jr. 7:30 p.m. Thursday, February 22nd at the Heindel Center for the Performing Arts on the campus of Northwest Mississippi Community College in Senatobia.
Hi, folks. Bob Burkhammer, Sunrise Buick GMC Truck. Going to start out the new year buying a new used car and truck. Remember, the selection's better and the savings are bigger at Sunrise. Acres of new cars and trucks to choose from. A $5 million used car inventory of late model GM certified cars and trucks. And remember, Sunrise specializes in cars and trucks under $99.95. Don't forget, Sunrise has a financing plan for everybody and specializes in secondary financing. The #1 volume Buick and GMC dealer in the Mid-South. Sunrise, where saving you money is just the way of doing business, partner. Covington Pike, Wolf Chase, and Collierville.
Napa Cafe celebrates 26 years in 2024. Hi, I'm Glenda Hastings, owner of Napa Cafe, and I want to thank you for making us part of your dining experiences. Treat yourself tonight with a delightful dinner. Maybe start with an appetizer like our baked sweet piquilla peppers stuffed with goat cheese and mozzarella, finished with basil pistou, and move on to one of our cozy dishes like the double chocolate stout braised boneless beef short ribs with tonkatsu sauce and creamy mashed potatoes, or a fresh seafood dish like our pan-roasted ginger buttered sea bass with cilantro soy vinaigrette. I get hungry just talking about it. Don't forget about dessert, our famous sweet buttermilk pie with brown sugar sauce, or drink your dessert with one of our signature dessert cocktails, like the lemon cheesecake martini, lemony, icy, frothy, and dusted with graham cracker crumbs. Napa Cafe, open Wednesday through Saturday for dinner starting at 5 o'clock. For reservations, visit our website at napacafe.com. Come join us as we celebrate 26 years of Napa Cafe. We can't wait to serve you.
The President's Day weekend sale is here at Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Don't miss incredible deals like 20% off used clubs, 30% off select apparel, and get custom fit on the new TaylorMade QI10 drivers. Book your free custom fitting online today. Swing into Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf for the President's Day weekend sale, or shop us online at worldwidegolf.com. Get there.
Hi, this is Lauren Choate with Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing. Burst pipes can be real headaches, especially with the increasing deep freezes. But don't worry, Choate's has solutions by winterizing your home's plumbing pipes. Our smart water monitor and shutoff system detects leaks and can automatically shut off your water to prevent even bigger leaks. We guarantee your outside faucet won't ever freeze with our Freeze Miser upgrade. And don't forget about heat tape we can install for drains and water pipes, keeping them from freezing down to -40 degrees. Concerned about water quality? The Halo Whole Home Water Filtration System filters out pollutants, ensuring clean showers and pure drinking water for your family. For a free estimate on safeguarding your plumbing system or filtrating your water, give Choates a call at 347-8086. And remember, Choates, let our family serve your family.
It's time to get thunderstruck during Gossett Mitsubishi's spring sales event at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. Ready to get 43 MPG Highway? Check out the 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage. We Gossett, $18,610 or $249 a month. Need extra room? 7-passenger seating in 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander SE, $33,605 or $399.99 a month. And Gossett Mitsubishi's got sophisticated styling and comfort in 2024 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, $31,200 or $449 a month. Plus, every Gossett Mitsubishi comes with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. That's Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, and 24/7 at MemphisMitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
Mirage RH00591 MSRP 19110, Outlander RZO 19512 MSRP 34605, Eclipse RZO 10625 MSRP 317, includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Big Daddy. Hello, Big Brand. It's a guy, he wants to be big, then he gets big, he doesn't want to be big anymore, then he gets small, but the suit's too big. Big Daddy. The big boy. You're a big guy. I think she's trying to pull a fast one on Big Daddy.
The big number of the day.
Well, we're going to get to big number here in just a second, but before we do that, I want to tell you, obviously, baseball season right around the corner.
Big number's 8 for Cal Ripken.
That's right. My big number is 8, wow. so it can be for Cal Ripken as well, but baseball season's almost here, and you have a great opportunity next week to go see one of the greats, Cal Ripken Jr. Join the Heidel Center of the Performing Arts for an event with Cal Ripken Jr. on Thursday, February 22nd. Hear the legendary Baseball Hall of Famer, whose remarkable career celebrates the dedication it takes to become a true champion. Known as the Iron Man, Cal Ripken Jr. solidified his legacy by playing an astonishing 2,632 consecutive games for the Baltimore Orioles. A 19-time All-Star, 2-time American League MVP, and Baseball Hall of Fame inductee, he defied expectations and redefined the shortstop position, leaving an incredible mark on the spot. Don't miss your chance to celebrate the legacy of a true baseball icon. Get tickets at heidelcenter.org. That's HEINDL Center.org to see Cal Ripken Jr. 7:30 p.m. on Thursday, February 22nd at the Heidel Center of the Performing Arts on the campus of Northwest Mississippi Community College in Senatobia. So I mentioned you can go to that website to get tickets, but we're giving away tickets right now. Call in 901-360-8255. Second
ready,
caller, Johnny, get ready. Second caller, you'll be going next Thursday night to see Cal Ripken Jr. Just one of the greats to ever do it. I'm sure going to be a really fun night hearing him talk about his legacy, his days in Major League Baseball, and playing that many games consecutively. I'm sure it takes a lot out of a person, so I'm sure he's got some great stories from that. So call in 901-360-8255. Second caller, you'll have to come pick those up at the station. Johnny will give you all of that information. And if you don't win today, don't worry. We still got plenty of tickets that we will be giving out throughout the week. Getting up to when Cal Ripken Jr. will be here. But for my big number, Brett, how about the number 8? And no, unfortunately, it's not for the great Cal Ripken Jr., but it's for, and you'll hear this again later tonight because it's likely where I'll be beaming tonight. 8 is my big number. Caitlin Clark for the Iowa women's basketball team is 8 points shy of breaking the NCAA women's career scoring record.
That before the first break?
Oh, yeah. I mean, super early. That's going to be real quick. It currently held by Kelsey Plum, who's one of the best players in the WNBA right now. 3,527. Caitlin Clark only needs 8 points. And I was reading a story from the Associated Press earlier today. Ticket prices just to get into the game tonight, Iowa and Michigan tonight, trending to being one of the most expensive tickets for a women's basketball game, professional or college. Just to get in right now, the average price is $394. And the Associated Press reached out to the assistant AD for ticket operations at Iowa, Jess Rickerson, and she said that face value Iowa tickets, if you had just bought a regular, their standard season ticket package and broke it down to tonight's game, would have been about $15, and now it's going to be about $400 just to get in to see this night. They talked to Caitlin Clark about it. A lot of people thought she was going to break it over the weekend, but really had a rough fourth quarter and wasn't able to break it. Yeah, 0 in the fourth quarter, and they asked if she was excited. She said, I guess so. I'm a little nervous. All my family's going to be here, but I guess I'm excited.
Her family's excited.
Her family is very excited, so it should be a really fun
historic
night. Yeah, absolutely.
My big number is 67. It's been 67 days since the Memphis Tigers were last an underdog.
Wow.
15 games ago since Sunday, December 10th at College Station against Texas A&M. Tigers are 4-11 in those 15 games against the spread. Tonight, underdog at North Texas.
Well, and Brett, we talked about it earlier this week of when's the next time the Tigers are underdogs, and I didn't know if it would be tonight. I thought maybe
probably will
SMU,
be again Sunday.
Probably, and especially if you and Johnny are right, you Tiger haters, and if you are right, and the Tigers fall tonight, they certainly will probably be underdogs, especially if SMU can go handle business on the road against Tulane.
Won't be underdog at home against Charlotte.
No.
Could be at home against FAU.
Yeah, certainly.
Will be on the road at FAU.
Absolutely.
Could be at ECU.
I think they'll be favorites. It might be close, but
won't be underdog at home against UAB.
No.
Unless it really goes in a bad direction.
Yeah, so I think 2 more times after tonight, you're underdogs. Maybe 3. FAU at home, I think they'll probably
Vegas
be
has loved the Tigers.
Yeah, they certainly have. It's it's interesting to see them underdogs tonight against North Texas. But hopefully they can cover, and I can get back close to even tonight.
You can going for a 19th win.
Yeah,
and 20-win season is going to happen. But
sure,
that was last important in 1980.
Yeah, well, that's a really good point. No, I'll be honest. I'm excited. I was talking to one of my buddies today. You mentioned that home game next week against Charlotte. I'm excited for that one. Charlotte's been kind of this frisky team that's been playing well, and the Tigers have struggled. So I'm excited for that game next week. At home against Charlotte. So only a getting down the stretch of conference play, and soon, we'll be talking about the conference tournament, and Tigers need to win some games to improve that seeding, because right now, talking about a 6 or 7 seed in the conference tournament, I mean, that would not be certainly would not be great for the Tigers going down to that conference tournament. But let's go ahead and get to our final break of this hour, and when we come back, start our 5 o'clock hour, we'll talk more Tigers with Greg Gaston.
Your wings game at East Coast Wings and Grill. With 60 wing flavors and 7 heat indexes, do you have what it takes to turn the heat on your wings up to insanity? East Coast Wings and Grill is family friendly with a large variety menu to satisfy the whole bunch. Sign up today for their loyalty program and taste the rewards. For every $1 you spend, you collect a point. Earn 100 points and receive a $5 reward. Next to Lowe's off Highway 64 in Bartlett, come try America's best wings at East Coast Wings and Grill.
All 650 acquisition fee, Forte RE 722-812, MSRP 21,590, Sorrento PG 242710, MSRP 33010, Telluride RG 462-822, MSRP 38705. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 2/29/24 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Hey, Jeff Allen, you ready to get this party started at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah?
You bet I am, Randy. Gossett's got your new Kia that gets 41 MPG highway. 2024 Kia Forte LXS, $239 a month, $27.99 due at signing. Need extra room? How about a 2023 Kia Sorrento LX at $319 a month, $34.99 due at signing. And a 2024 Kia Telluride S all-wheel drive, $459 a month, $34.99 due at signing. All 36-month lease.
Plus, get peace of mind because with every Gossett Kia, you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
2680 Mount Moriah or online, KiaMountMoriah.com.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi.
Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
Are you ready to start a rewarding career that's bigger than you? Join us on Saturday, February 17th, 2024 from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. for our hiring expo at the Memphis Police Academy, 4731 Academy Drive. Salary starts at $54,611, increasing to $72,000 after 3 years. If you want to serve the Memphis community, join the Best in Blue. For more information or details, visit joinmpd.com.
Hi, this is Jimmy Stovall with Corky's Barbecue. We have been serving up our legendary barbecue for more than 39 years, right here in Memphis, Tennessee. Whether you're dining in, picking up in our drive-thru, or serving our famous barbecue at your office or home, with Corky's Party Pack, you are the hit of the party. Barbecue pulled pork, baked beans, coleslaw, barbecue sauce, and buns, starting at only $8.49 per person. And as you know, we send plenty of food. You never have to worry about running out with Corky. Hi, this is Jimmy Stovall with Corky's Barbecue. We have been serving up our legendary barbecue for more than 39 years, right here in Memphis, Tennessee. Whether you're dining in, picking up in our drive-thru, or serving our famous barbecue at your office or home, with Corky's Party Pack, you are the hit of the party. Barbecue pulled pork, baked beans, coleslaw, barbecue sauce, and buns, starting at only $8.49 per person. And as you know, we send plenty of food. You never have to worry about running out with Corky.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss Sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56, 560 AM and 98.5 FM. Your Mid-South Sports Station.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. There's a couple of accidents out here getting some attention right now. We're just seeing this heavy traffic flow trying to get out of Midtown on 240 coming southbound. Over here in South Parkway, it's building pretty good on I-40 going eastbound. As you continue on I-40, passing Germantown Parkway, headed out towards Fayette County. Speaking of Fayette County, there's a pretty bad wreck on 40 West at the 42-mile marker. Again, that's going westbound on I-40 in Fayette County. It's got traffic backed up pretty good up there in Stanton. Hey, 24/7, reliable crane and rigging services right here in Memphis. It's Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. Check them out at tomahawkcrane.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. From the Tigers sideline, it's Tigers Talk with Memphis broadcasting legend Greg Gaston. Hear Greg weekday mornings on Sports 56 Mornings, along with Eli Savoy from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. On Twitter X at Greg_Gaston. Here's Greg with Bryant and Brett.
Greg Gaston joins us now to talk Tigers. You can hear him every single morning with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli. Greg, thanks so much for joining us. Were you surprised last night to learn that the Tigers were a 1.5-point underdog on the road against North Texas tonight?
Yeah, good afternoon, guys. Yeah, I was. Talked about it this morning on my show. Yeah, very surprised with that. Then again, you look at Vegas and you kind of defer to them. They're pretty good at what they do. But it's interesting. North Texas has been in a lot of close games. They've lost a lot of close games recently, but they're in all those games. And at home, I guess that's why they are the favorite. If this was in Memphis, probably the lean would have been toward Memphis as a 1.5, 2.5 favorite. So I would imagine it's strictly because of the North Texas Mean Green being at home. But who would have ever thunk that, right? Before the season started, that Memphis would be an underdog to North Texas.
I wouldn't have thought it at all, and really was kind of surprised it ended up being that way. We were talking earlier, why are we all so scared of North Texas? Well, my answer is I saw this team lose at home to Rice.
Yeah, with Memphis, you're not sure what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Are you going to get the last 3 games, Memphis Tigers? You're going to get that 4-game losing streak Tigers? You're going to get the Tigers from the beginning of the season. So you don't really know what to expect. North Texas, again, not a great team by any stretch of the imagination. Very consistent, solid, and they play a complete different offense than Memphis does. You're talking about a 180 and then some, because this is a team that has basically the second slowest team in college basketball in all of Division I. Their pace is incredibly slow. We know Memphis wants to push it. They want to turn over North Texas like they did the other teams that they have played, or at least try to. They want to quicken the pace. They want to score in transition. So this team doesn't allow you to do that. So this is kind of the battle of wills. If when you have a team that plays a completely different style, which style prevails? Which team is going to be able to kind of force the other team to play either at a quickened pace in the case of North Texas or a slower pace in the case of Memphis? Whoever is able to do that will probably win this basketball game, but I think it will be Memphis.
And, Greg, of course, you did it very well. You just did the announcer pregame setup for playing a team running the wishbone.
We're going old school, buddy.
That's right. That's right. Well, Greg, last week when we were talking to you, one of the biggest points that we were talking about was this rotation for Penny Hardaway. He was throwing in, 10, 11, 12, 13. Everybody on the bench was seeing playing time, especially early in those games. And last Thursday night, they played Temple. And in that first half, it was the exact same thing. A lot of guys going to the score table, a lot of guys getting action. And then after that game, Penny Hardaway said that they're trying to get down to about 5 or 7 guys. Well, then on Sunday, to me at least, against Tulane, it looked like that rotation was tighter.
When it mattered.
Yes, especially when it mattered. That rotation was a lot tighter for most of the game. Do you feel like Penny Hardaway is starting to limit this rotation?
I think he's trying to. Sometimes he can't help himself.
Yeah.
You're probably going to see more changes in the first half, and now I think he's going to really bear down in the second half and play the guys that need to be played. Now, it all depends on who's available, if there's any injuries, obviously any foul trouble. But, yes, I think he's going to try to close those games with the guys that will start, more than likely, unless they're playing a team that's really big on the front line like Florida Atlantic. That's why I think you're going to see in these games coming up, the remaining 7 of the regular season and into the conference tournament, the matchups will determine what they do. He may start the same 5 that he started the last few games. I would imagine that will continue with Naquan Tomlin in the starting lineup along with Nicholas Jourdain and Malco coming off the bench. But depending on who they're playing, the front line that they're going up against, that will determine more than likely what Malco does, how many minutes Malco does. Now, Malco got into foul trouble in their last game against Tulane, so he hurt himself. But they're going to need the guy. Whether he's closing or not will all depend, again, on what they're going up against. But as far as limiting the bench, we'll see. They haven't had Jalen Young the last couple of games because he's been out, and I'm not sure if he's available tonight. If he is available, you figure he's in there.
Yeah.
And it looks like Jonathan Pierre has now earned himself some minutes. I know Ashton didn't play last game, and I'd never heard if that was just a DNP, daddy's decision, coach's decision, right? Or was it an injury or an illness? So Ashton's been getting minutes. I can't imagine that he won't, but maybe that's one of the guys that's kind of out of the rotation. Jaden's going to get his minutes. Obviously, we talked about Malco coming off the bench. Jordan Brown, who at least had some points and a couple of rebounds in their last game and showed some life for the first time since before he went AWOL. I can't imagine that he gets many minutes, but that will probably depend on Malco and his situation, especially in the games when they go up against the big front lines where they may have to use him. But I could see games where you're going to get DNPs for Jordan Brown. But as far as the overall rotation, expect him to continue to do the switches early, which still is dumbfounding a lot of times when you see David Jones hit the bench before the first media timeout. But in the second half, I think he's going to hunker down and go with the guys that got him there.
And especially with this kind of pace, even if North Texas doesn't completely dictate it, it will be slower, the media timeouts, I think plenty of rest time. But, Greg, we won't talk to you again after today. We'll be listening to you every morning, but we won't get to visit with you. 3 games will have been played by the time we talk to you next. Largely, the season will be defined for good or not by the time we talk to you again.
Yeah, I think it's an incredibly important stretch, and we know they're all important.
Is.
Right, they're all important, these games. But this stretch, you're right, these 3 games before we talk next, the Texas two-step. And, look, I feel really good about tonight. I could be completely wrong. I feel really good about tonight. I'm not so sure about Sunday. They beat SMU at home. That was one of Quinterly's game-winning 3-point shots, basically at the buzzer. So they pulled that one out against SMU. SMU's got some athletes. I think that'll be a tough game to win. I'm not saying they can't win that game, but it'll be a tough game to win. I think what they do in these 2 games will probably determine where they are mentally for Wednesday. They'll play a Charlotte team. They do get them at home. Charlotte's capable, and we know that Memphis can be vulnerable at home, right? Losing to USF, losing to Rice. But if they win tonight, they take care of business, and then win Sunday, I feel really good that they'll go in there and beat Charlotte at home on Wednesday, which would mean a 6-game winning streak going into their game Sunday at home against Florida Atlantic, and that should pack the place out. I can't imagine it wouldn't be a huge crowd, the biggest of the year, so there's certainly that opportunity. You lose 2 of these 3, you struggle, and then people have obviously lost confidence. Maybe you've even lost confidence in yourself, and it probably will diminish the possibility of a huge crowd if that's the case.
Greg, I think the consensus around town, media, fans alike, interaction with everybody, whether it was Twitter or our text line or phone calls or whatever it was, I think the preseason stated goal was second weekend. Mm-hmm. Now, I know that goals can change, and especially can change with injuries and disappointment. In an odd way, just getting to the tournament and being one and done, is that kind of a season saver? Is that save, kind of pride and dignity?
I don't think so. I don't think so. The goal was to get to the second weekend, as you said. They went out. They got the players they needed. They have the best overall talent in the league. And just to fight to get back. Now, you salute them if they're able to fight back to get to the tournament after the skid they took. But if you go out there in first round and you get knocked out, it's the same old, same old. It would be the same as last year. It would also mean just the 1 win for Penny in 6 years at the helm. So, no, you can't look at that year and go, yeah, it was successful.
What about a win in the tournament?
We could talk when that happens. I mean, maybe a win in a tournament, and they lose in a tough one in the second round before and fail to make that second weekend.
Like the Gonzaga game. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it salvages it. But it's not like it was second weekend or bust, but the goal was second weekend. They had the players to be second weekend. The team not making the tournament, that's unacceptable. Even with the loss of Caleb Mills, I know that's a big loss, but, I mean, they didn't lose the National Player of the Year, for goodness sake. They still have a lot of talent. So I think this is a team that's still capable. Nothing would surprise me. Really, nothing would surprise me. They go 3-0 in the next 3 games. They go 1-3 in the next 3 games. Nobody really knows. But, again, we'll reevaluate if it comes, and hopefully it does for Tigers fans, that they make the tournament and get that first-round win.
And I'm with you on nothing would surprise me. But even I would be close to giving not a pass, but being a little more understanding than 6 weeks ago that I thought I would be of get to the tournament and win a game. Because, Greg, none of us, I don't want to. I wish I didn't have to, even as much as I've done. Nobody wants to ridicule and get on Penny Hardaway.
No. Right. And look, you're entitled to change your opinion as the season goes along. I'm pretty much steadfast. When I make a prediction, for example, I picked the Buffalo Bills to win the Super Bowl before the season. Right. I picked the Buffalo Bills to win it before the season started. They didn't win it. As the season progressed and we got into the postseason, I wasn't going to change my mind, even though I knew it would be tough for them to get there. I'm not changing my mind. I still think that this team should be a second weekend team with the talent they have this year. But you're right. We can adjust a little bit, and you have the prerogative to adjust a little bit. And certainly if this team gets to the NCAA tournament and gets a dub, that passes what they did last year. That surpassed. Mm-hmm. So last year they came up a little short against Florida Atlantic. We know the history of that one. You get a first-round win, lose in the second round in a close game. Yeah, we'll probably look back and say, okay, it wasn't what we wanted, it wasn't what we expected, but it's a step in the right direction because they went a step further than they did the year prior.
Yeah. Well, Greg, you mentioned a couple minutes ago some of the guys coming off the bench for the Tigers, and over these last 2 games, Jonathan Pierre has been a pretty big factor. You know, if you go back to before that Temple game, outside of the first game against Jackson State, the most minutes he had gotten in a game was a couple weeks ago against Rice when he logged 7 minutes. But in these last 2 games, 15 minutes against Temple, 12 minutes against Tulane, and has played well when he's out there. And he even said after the Temple game, he was talking about how early in the season, coming from D2, and this is a guy that's had this big growth spurt since really entering college, and then another one before getting to Memphis. He's always been a guard and kind of bringing the ball up and really wanted to do that when he got to Memphis. And he said he was kind of fighting with the coaches earlier in the season because they wanted him to go sit in the corner, go get in the paint and rebound balls. And he said it was a real big learning experience. What have you seen from him over these last 2 games that is so different from the beginning of the season and maybe the reason Coach Hardaway has been looking to him more over these last 2 games?
Well, first of all, he's coachable. It proves he's coachable. Yes, He wasn't happy. They weren't exactly happy. It's tough to make that transition. Now, I don't know this firsthand, but I assume it's tough to make that transition from Division 2 to Division 1. He was a star for his team that went undefeated. They were great. You make the move to Division 1. I don't care what program you're with. The caliber of competition is stiffer. The athletes are better. And it was a tough transition. It was really tough for him to make that transition. Now, let's be honest here. He didn't get a lot of opportunities.
Right.
They didn't run with him for 25 minutes in a game. He'll play 2 or 3 or 5 and takes a bad shot or doesn't do what he needs to do defensively. He's out of the game. So they didn't have the time to sit there and watch him learn while the team was playing. You have to do this stuff in practice, and you have to make sure you do it well enough where the coaches feel confident in playing you for lengthy periods of time. That did not happen. Now all of a sudden it's kicking in. So, again, I give credit for him being patient. Hopefully he's acknowledged that he needed that kind of a tutelage. The team certainly, I think, has a lot of confidence in him because he has a lot of talent to be 6'9", as tall as he is, to be able to defend. Once he learns to become a better defender, maybe put some weight on, become more physical, he'll be more formidable on that side. But I think he has an awful lot of talent, and it's nice that it's finally risen to the top. And there's a long way to go, but he's making some great strides.
All right, we know the order of key guys for the Tigers. I think it obviously starts with David Jones, then it goes to the point guard play, led by Javon Quinterly. It's time. Tomlin, you got to turn it on here on. This is go time.
Tomlin and Walton, I think, are incredibly key. And with Jake, let me start with Jaquan. He has just been so inconsistent. There have been games where he looks terrific. The game against his former team the first time around, Wichita State, just tremendous. Naquan got a bad rap when he came here because people equated the losing streak to his appearance, and I don't know if it did anything chemistry-wise. Penny didn't seem to think so, but maybe it did. He's come out and he's played well in certain games. He's fouled out of a few games. He has to be physical. He has to rebound the basketball. He has to take higher percentage shots. I don't know if it was last game or the game at Temple. He took a bunch of threes. He's capable of making one every once in a while, but he's not known as a three-point shooter. He has to go to the hole. He has to draw fouls. He's a good free throw shooter. So, yes, he is absolutely pivotal. You have to you're getting consistently good games from David Jones. Yes, he's going to have games where he turns the ball over a bunch of times. That's unfortunate. He has to be better. He has to be more intelligent with the basketball, let's be honest. Quinterly has to be the Quinterly we saw the last few games. If either one of those doesn't come to play, you can lose any single game. But the third guy has to be either Walton or Tomlin, and preferably both of those guys stepping up. Then you mix in the Jordanes, the Malcos, who has had a pretty darn good season. Jalen Young coming off the bench to spell Quinterly. And then all of a sudden you have a really good rotation of 8 players and 9 if he goes that deep.
What do you think the Tigers need to do over these next 2 games this week for their tournament hopes? Do they need to sweep? Can they go 1-1 and kind of still be in the mix? What does this week need to look like for the Tigers?
They have to win both games, in my opinion. Yeah. I know Jerry Palm, who comes on my show weekly, just put out a new bracketology, and he has Memphis as the second team in his first 4 out, last 4 out, whatever the terminology is. So they're not far away. But even though this is a road game, and I know it's a quad one opportunity, always subject to change, and those quad wins and losses do change. But I still think, while it normally isn't the end of the world losing on the road, I think it would be tough. First of all, it would mean absolutely 100% you have to sweep Florida Atlantic.
Yeah.
You have to sweep Florida Atlantic. And I don't know how that's going to happen. I mean, I think it's doable, but it probably won't happen. So I think this loss really takes you out of the mix for an at-large. Just my personal opinion. There are some that believe they can lose to SMU, lose at Florida Atlantic, get to the conference championship, lose to Florida Atlantic in the conference championship in the tournament, and still make it. I just don't think they can. Because all of a sudden now, if you're really keeping a close eye on this stuff, here comes Gonzaga. They got a huge win, and they're moving up because they've been on the outside looking in.
Yep.
A couple of other teams, Michigan State. These are teams that have all been around the bubble and where Memphis has been, unfortunately, the last 3 weeks. So I think they have to win.
Greg, that's just as candid as it can be. And no, candid does not mean you have to run down the home team. To me and to you, and I think to most fair-minded people, candid is calling it like you see it.
Look, I'm just trying to tell you what I think the scenario is. I'm not sitting here saying Memphis can't do it or Memphis won't do it, because this team has been Jekyll and Hyde this year. When they're playing their best basketball, they could play with anybody in the country. But we also saw them lose to Rice at home. So it's hard to just sit there and go, yeah, they're going to win, they're going to do this. I think they're winning tonight. Right now, you asked me about Sunday. I'm not so sure about their winning a game against SMU. I'm just trying to tell the folks out there that I think, and this doesn't, I'm not on the committee, so my opinion really doesn't matter, but I think they have to win both these games. Really, I think they have to win all the games, with the exception they can lose at Florida Atlantic as long as they beat them at home a week from this Sunday, and then go into the tournament, get to the championship game. They come up short. I think they're in if they do that.
Greg, I'm sorry I missed Jerry Palm. It's a great segment with you guys. What's his thoughts about expansion of the tournament, and what are yours?
I haven't asked him yet, but I will next week. I do not like it. I don't want expansion. I don't need more teams in the NCAA tournament. You know, you got the 68, obviously, with the Dayton playing thing. That's enough. That's enough. We don't need more teams. We don't need teams that are going to be, and I know Jerry always stresses that conference play really doesn't matter. They don't look at that. But I don't need teams that are 5 games under 500 in their mid-major conference, and they're in the NCAA tournament.
Or major.
Or major conference, right. But everybody doesn't have to get a little trophy, right? We don't need it. We don't need expansion. Football, I did not mind at all the 12-team, the expansion to the 12-team playoff. That's fine. I'll probably be against the 16-team playoff, but one day that's going to happen. More games, more money, all that good stuff. But to increase the NCAA men's and probably women's basketball tournament, I think that's ridiculous.
I'm going to have somebody help me do the bracket.
No. Could you imagine? I mean, you're doing your picks. You'll need like 2 hours to do all your picks.
It'd be like those World Cup brackets that I didn't know what I was doing.
It sure will be. Greg, I'm curious. I'm sorry I don't know this. Will you be a part of the Tigers baseball broadcast again this season?
I will. I'll be on the call with Jeff Brightwell on the ESPN Plus games. We'll do 14 ESPN Plus games. I'll be the analyst, as I've always been with Jeff, but Jeff will have some conflicts with his schedule, and I'll just slip on over to the play-by-play desk there. And then as far as, they're going to be doing some games on the radio. That'll mostly be Jeff. I may be doing some of that, but I'm not sure at this point. But, yeah, I'll be once again involved with baseball.
What do you expect this year from the team? I know I was reading D1 Baseball did their conference preview, has them picked to finish 3rd in the American this year. New head coach, what do you expect with their season starting tomorrow?
Boy, they finished 3rd in the conference. That says an awful lot.
Man.
I know the conference did lose some good baseball programs. They're bringing in some good baseball programs. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. He really, really cares about the product. He really cares about improving Memphis to the point where, they finally get back to the NCAA tournament. It seems like it's been 50 years. I know it hasn't been that long. Rock had him in the tournament, but it wasn't consistent. Mm-hmm. And he thinks that Memphis can be a consistent winner. I think baby steps. This year he brought in some good players to go along with a few that return. Memphis' problem has always been middle innings from the relief pitchers, right? You get to that 6th, 7th, 8th innings. Can you hold on to leads, especially when you get deeper in your bullpen? I think they'll be able to hit the ball. I think they'll be able to hit the ball for power. and I think they'll be fun. So I would suggest people, it's a cheap ticket. Sometimes it's free. I forget what the cost is. Be going out there on a beautiful day and watch some baseball over at the park.
Pitching's everything, isn't it?
It's everything. It's everything.
Yeah, it's become that. Well, it's going to be a fun spring baseball starting tomorrow. Hopefully the Tigers can pick up a couple of wins to wrap up this week before they return home next week against Charlotte. But, Greg, thanks so much for joining us. We'll do it again next week.
Absolutely, guys. Take care.
You got Greg Gaston with us every Thursday talking the Tigers, and we're going to be talking spring football. And this may be a question for Johnny. I would assume it's because of the stadium and those issues. Why the spring game on Saturday instead of the Friday night stripes?
Question.
I don't know. Because normally they do Friday, but
and really it carved a good niche doing that.
Yes, Fridays were really a good day, but I think they just really want to just mix it up.
And if it's up to the coaches, there would be no spring football.
That's
game.
right. That's
right.
Well, I'm glad they're doing it on
Brett
Saturday.
already know they would not be doing
it. It was always tough for me to try to get out of here and get down there for the Friday night
So you'll
game.
get a Saturday afternoon?
Yeah, I'm excited about the Saturday afternoon.
I'm looking
game.
forward to it too. It's gonna be nice.
Jason Munns will join us tomorrow. It's presented every Friday by our friends at Jim's Place Grill in Collierville. Jason Munns may top me getting to the arena. He gets there really early.
Sorry, I just saw he posted his
he gets there.
I hope that's not where he's sitting. His picture, it is, it's top row of the building. It really could be. Visiting press, you see way up there, get on walking.
I like to get there early and check everything out, and then I know I'm there.
Oh, yeah.
No matter what happens.
You don't have to worry about anything.
Any traffic consideration, anything like that. This hour of our show brought to you every day by Hewlett & Dunn, Boot and Jean. They're on the historic square in Collierville, and they've been there since 1961. Western wear, work boots, safety toe, soft toe, rubber boots, boots for every occasion. They have them at Hewlett & Dunn. Charles Hall, he started working there in his teens, and now with his wife Laura, they own the place, known for all the boots, but also clothing, accessories, and a cap for any team, for any season. Baseball season coming up, you need a good cap. From head to toe, they've got you covered at Hewlett & Dunn with every brand imaginable. Name brands like Dan Post, Anderson Bean, Ariat, whether for men or women. They have the clothing, they have jeans, pants, shirts, shorts, outerwear, and the best duckhead collection you'll find anywhere. Charles and Laura Hall invite you to 111 North Center Street or go to hewlettdunn.com, but they want you to come by and visit them on the square in Collierville. Sunglasses, boot care products, hats, and every area team snapback cool hat you can think of for the Tigers, for Mississippi State, Tennessee, Ole Miss, and the Razorbacks. For travel bag season, the selection is top-notch. hewlettdunn.com is the place to go, but they would rather you come by and visit 111 North Center Street on the square in Collierville at Hewlett & Dunn.
Well, speaking of the devil, we were just talking about Jason Munns. He just tweeted Jalen Young, who Greg mentioned, has been out for the last couple games. Didn't really know if he would be playing. It looks like Jason Munns just posted a picture of Jalen Young out during warm-ups with game shorts on, so it does look like Jalen Young will be available tonight for the Tigers. So certainly getting back healthy, and that's huge.
I know you love him. I do too. I think he's the Woj of baseball at ESPN. Jeff Passan.
Oh, I love Jeff Passan.
His Twitter.
Love Jeff Passan.
His tweet about Rob Manfred is simply this: Rob Manfred said his tenure as Major League Baseball will end in early 2029. We'll read some of the replies when we come back.
I'm sure the replies are bad. I'm sure
they're
terrible.
Real bad.
I'm sure they're terrible. Well, I'm excited to do that. So let's go ahead and get to a break. When we come back, we'll talk about what's trending.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
The Crazy Coop, America's premier wing destination, has 27 delicious flavors to choose from and counting. Like the Buffalo Ranch, a perfect combo of ranch seasoning with a little kick. Mango Habanero, sweet taste of mango followed by the heat. Or Sweet Maple Bourbon, the taste will remind you of chicken and waffles. And that's just 3 of the amazing 27 chicken wing seasonings that you can get at the Crazy Coop in Bartlett at 7199 Stage Road. And now open the Crazy Coop Express at 1315 Ridgeway off Poplar. Some like it hot. How about the Crazy Sweet Lemon Pepper Hot or Crazy Suicide? Can't take the heat? Get the 4-cheese roasted garlic or barbecue bacon bourbon. Ask about the $9.99 lunch special. Now those are some crazy good prices. The Crazy Coop, 2 locations, 7199 Highway 64 between Applin and Kirby Whitten, and 1315 Ridgeway off Poplar. Family owned and operated, The Crazy Coop, America's premier wing destination.
Chris Price, it's so good to see you. And you have a new business?
Yes, Dave. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Have you noticed water stains on your ceiling? With storm season here, take a walk around your home or business and look up. Make sure there are no water stains signaling a leak prior to the heavy storms coming in. If you do see signs of water, call me. My team and I will come out, diagnose the problem, and prescribe a fix. Our team of Hague-certified inspectors are waiting to assist with any inspection or repairs you may need. We have 3 crews dedicated to repairing roofs in the Mid-South. As certified Owens Corning and Mule High dealers, we offer 20-year, no-dollar limit labor and material warranties that offer hassle-free ownership. That's our hassle-free ownership guarantee. Allow Metro Builders team of professionals to assist you in maintaining your property's integrity and value. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Your local commercial roof experts. Ask about our commercial roof maintenance agreements. Protect your investment with MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Call me, 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717. 375-1717.
Hey, this is Eli Savoy, and I've got a question for you. Who wants to pay full retail for a pre-owned car or truck when you can buy it at wholesale? Wholesale Unlimited on Pleasant View, right off Covington Pike, has an unlimited selection of super sharp pre-owned cars and trucks you can buy at the wholesale price. And right now, you can use your tax refund as all or part of a down payment and still just pay the wholesale price. Chevy Silverados, F-150s and Ram trucks, Tahoes, Explorers, Jeep Wranglers, Grand Cherokees, Renegades, a Cadillac SRX, Camaros, Mustang convertible, Hyundais. Check it out. Go to wucars.com or Google Wholesale Unlimited Memphis. This is great. Your money goes a long way when you can buy at the wholesale price, and tax refund time makes it even better. Go to Wholesale Unlimited on Pleasant View, just off Covington Pike, with guaranteed approval. Tell them you heard about it right here on Sports 56, and you can thank me later.
When a cold comes on strong, try DayQuil's Severe Honey flavor. The daytime, coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, honeylicious, power through your day medicine. Powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a honeylicious taste, so a cold won't slow you down. Get back to your day feeling relieved, enjoying the delicious flavor of DayQuil Severe Honey. DayQuil Severe Honey flavor soothes your symptoms with a delicious taste. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Memphis, get loud for your Memphis Grizzlies when they face off against the Milwaukee Bucks tonight at 7 p.m. on Adoptable Pet Night. Arrive early. First 5,000 will receive a Grizzlies player pet calendar. Get ready for a star-studded show by securing your tickets at Grizzlies.com.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. A wreck a few minutes ago on 240 westbound over here at Mount Moriah has slowed down that traffic coming westbound on Bill Morris Parkway. It's just crawling now between Ridgeway and 240. That's coming inbound on 385 Bill Morris Parkway, running really slow. It's also crowded over here on 240 east at Mill Branch as you continue out towards 385. It's starting to load up over here with some volume on 40 east at Sycamore View Road all the way out to Germantown Parkway. Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64 is your full-service family-owned jewelry store right here in the Memphis area. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Jean Company in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
So how you like me now? How you like me now? How you like me now? How you like me now?
We're back into Sports Time. A little less than 30 minutes left in today's show. And as the commissioner does at the start of every spring training, Rob Manfred met with media members.
And teased us.
And teased us by saying he's going to retire in 2029.
Don't let the door hit you. Here, and I know X, Twitter is not the real world.
Right.
Here are the first responses to Jeff Passan's tweet. Okay. Again, that tweet is Rob Manfred said his tenure as Major League Baseball commissioner will end in early 2029.
As straightforward as it can be.
That's just the facts, Jack, right?
Yep.
First response, why not sooner? Second, was hoping 2024. Third, finally. Fourth, I used to pray for times like this.
Oh.
Fifth, wish it was sooner, but I'll take it.
Can you read the third one again?
Third one was finally.
No, fourth one. Excuse me.
I used to pray for times.
Hey,
like
that's
this.
that meat meal.
That's great.
I did not send in any of those,
No,
but
it
I
sounds
agree
like
with every
things
one
you
of
would
them.
say, Brett.
Wish it was sooner, but I'll take it. He will get a piece of metal as a parting gift. AKA baseball will be better in early 2029.
Jeez.
That's that.
Brett's a long time.
That's a long
before
time.
2029.
It is.
That's 5 years.
I mean, we could have ghost runners on
A
every
lot of
base
stuff.
before then. I mean,
We'll have the Olympics in Los Angeles before that.
yeah,
Yeah.
we sure will.
And golf will be at Riviera for 2028
Speaking
Olympics.
of Olympics in Los Angeles and baseball, a lot of baseball players trying to pitch the idea of playing in the Olympics for when they're in Los Angeles.
We could potentially have, well, it could be even more with something bad. Easily, though, 3 new presidents.
Yeah, 29. So, yeah. I mean, it's a long time from now.
Yeah.
One guy simply comment section is not going to be good.
No,
and it has not
it's
been.
not. It's not. And
Well, he could do a lot of damage in 5 years.
he really could. But what do you think of the idea? Summer Olympics in Los Angeles, so late July, August, and I've heard some people saying maybe don't play the All-Star game that year and try to make it some sort of All-Star break, but finding a way for Major League Baseball players to play in the Olympics.
I'm okay by it.
I would like it. And I know I saw an interview with
I'd rather have that than World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, I saw an interview with Bryce Harper, and he was kind of talking about it, and he was like, I mean, he said, I know it's just me talking right now. I don't want to speak for everybody, but I've had conversations with plenty of guys that, you know, the dream of being out there on, he goes, I don't want it just for LA. I want it every time there's Olympics. Because the idea of being in like South Korea or Japan and having a U.S. baseball team of all major league players and winning somewhere foreign, or he goes winning here in L.A. and standing on the field while your national anthem is being played after you win gold. He's like, it's something I've always dreamed of, and I would love to get the opportunity to do it, and I'd be all for it.
This summer in 2024, Paris, 2028 in Los Angeles. Where's 32?
I have no idea.
I don't either.
I don't
Have
know.
they awarded 32?
That's a good question. Let's see. 2032 Olympics site.
Brisbane, Australia.
Oh, an Australian. I don't know if I like that. I mean, that's.
I don't know if they could get them down there and back in that time.
And that's. I mean, Australia. They're doing everything while you're middle of the sleeping. I mean, it's not even. You're not.
It's a couple of days from now.
Yeah, I mean that's.
They're way ahead.
Their prime time is 5 o'clock in the morning, our time.
That's why I just, even when I would watch some tennis, I just never, of the 4 slams, Australia just never did anything for me. I didn't know if it was live or tape.
Brett, could you tell me the time of day in Brisbane, Australia right now?
I'm going to say 16 hours ahead. So 10:35.
Wow, you're really close. You're really close. 9:35 a.m.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're just starting their days. People are getting to work
Happy
right
Friday.
now. We're ending our day. People are
five
getting to
somewhere.
work there. I guess so.
Yeah,
that's incredible. I mean, that's tough.
And how I knew, and I've told this story, I won't say I was locked into it, but I got up early on the morning of December 31st, 1999, to go to the Liberty Bowl and, cut on CNN, and they're starting like at 6:37 in the morning, the time. And it starts at the international date line. Really, I think New Zealand or maybe some faraway Pacific island was first to welcome.
Wow, how about that?
Pretty cool,
all right.
Pretty good. I wasn't going to stay there and watch them all.
Sure.
And then it got like to 1/2 the hour.
Oh, yeah. And there's
some
some quirky ones in there.
A bunch of them. A bunch.
I didn't know about that.
Happy New Year. I'm going, wait, it's 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah, what are we talking? Happy New Year.
It's not midnight somewhere, but
crazy. But I guess for them it is.
And India, one of the largest countries that's on the
really?
half hour.
I didn't know that.
And all through like the stands.
Huh. Interesting.
Pakistan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan,
Wow.
all the old breakaway Soviet Unions, all the stands are half hour.
Yeah. Well, Australia might not be too bad because if it's 5:30 here, 9:30 there, and Olympic sports go all throughout the day. So I mean, you get home from work, you get home, we can get down for dinner, and it's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning there, and they're getting stuff done. Oh.
And this summer, even with Paris, it's not exaggerating.
I don't know what
big
Paris
difference.
time is.
I'm going to say about 7 hours ahead of us right now. It's
Paris
12:37.
Wow, bingo, spot on.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah, so midnight, right after midnight.
We're going to still have a lot of tape.
Yo, a ton of tape.
We'll have a lot of tape for Los Angeles.
But there will be a lot of big events that are happening midday for us, which will be pretty cool.
And I'm going to tell people now, we're not giving any provide. I mean, if you want to watch the whatever it is tonight, no, we're in the breaking news, and
that's right.
I'm trying to remember the year that people were so mad over. No, we're going to tell
that's a really good. I didn't even think about that because I mean,
I've had it during the Olympics every time.
Wow, there's going to be the basketball game. Team USA is going to be playing at prime time. There will be 10 o'clock our time.
I've got it recorded. No,
they'll be playing on NBC.
We're in the breaking news business. We're going to give it.
Cow, I
yesterday with the events in Kansas City.
Oh man,
if you're waiting to watch your evening news, no, we don't do that.
No, breaking news.
And people would get some. Always the loudest.
Well, and I should say this. We talked about that yesterday with what was happening in Kansas City and just talking about events like that and how breaking news is so fast. When we came back at this time yesterday, I got a report on my phone that said a second person had died, and they had to go back and correct that because it was the same person that died. They had just learned more information of that person. And I now think, we're up in the 20s of injured people with that from Kansas City.
And a week from today will be the 44th anniversary of the famous hockey win.
Yeah.
On a Friday afternoon, Memphis time. Game was over about 4:45.
Really?
5 or so. I didn't know it. Most people didn't know it. And I don't know how that was handled with people because the whole country went home and watched that night.
That's crazy. I mean, times
a lot of people not knowing the result.
Yeah.
I sure didn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's impossible to keep scores and stuff away from you now with smartphones and
it's just impossible. So
it's impossible.
For the one or two that's got their Betamax recording, sorry.
Yeah, no, but it's gonna be fun. I'm excited. I really am excited for and NBC and I just saw we've got the Golf Channel on here. They just ran an ad for the Olympics, so it's gonna be a lot of fun this summer.
Yeah, and one of my favorite shows is when we get down to right before the Olympics, all the different sports, and have we ever participated in those?
It's interesting. I told you I need to go through
golf,
start trying to mark off what I've done and what I haven't
My favorite, is walking. Yeah, I walked in the building.
Walk every day.
Hey, Brett, we all did that today.
Yeah.
I hope I can walk tomorrow.
I don't know if I did it at a competitive level, but
I never done it there.
But I've never golfed at a competitive level either.
But we have golf.
Right.
Well, I mean, depending on what you want to call competitive, I've made a couple bets on the golf
platform
course.
diving. I've done a big belly buster off the high dive.
And asked somebody to give me a score afterwards, too. So, I mean, that's
0.
Yeah. A lot of zeros. Brett, before we get to a break tonight, Grizzlies and Bucks, it's the TNT game, the only TNT game tonight as they wrap up before the thing. And it sounds like couple of earlier, I think now both Giannis and Dame are scheduled to play tonight, but earlier both were, I think one was probable, one was questionable. Looks like, according to ESPN, that they're going to give it a go tonight.
Good, I want to see them.
And I think TNT games, we've been told before the season started that's what this whole load management new protocol was supposed to avoid.
Have you seen the Grizzlies injury list?
Well, it's very long.
Jaren's load management. They're just not saying that.
Yeah, but I mean,
and a lot of people are doing it.
What are you going to do?
John Varlas texted me from the Daily Memphian. He texted me. He said, I believe each new day starts in Guam. I didn't know that.
Does it really? I trust John.
Good morning, Guam.
Good morning, Guam. Day starts somewhere, I guess.
It's got to.
Guam is the place. How about that?
Yeah, I don't want to cross that international date line, though.
No, it gets a little wacky.
And me and you with the food,
No, I can't.
That's another reason, Johnny. You know I like to get to the stadium early to hit the fresh peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah.
That's right.
You got to get those. Hey, when you get one of those, the grapes are amazing. I love the grapes.
Yeah, there's only a few places I can travel abroad.
Always get me about 5 little baggies of grapes. I got eat more grapes in the fall than
Hey
anybody.
man, you gotta get you a bag of grapes and a peanut butter
Gotta
jelly
stock
sandwich.
up.
I guess you could get grapes at Jim's Place Grill. I know you could, but you can get a lot more there. And I went there last Friday night. After we got through here, I went out there. Place was packed and so much fun. Everybody enjoying all the great food. Over 100 years of charcoal grill steaks, over 100 years of all that good fun, celebrations, family time, and lasting memories. At Jim's Place Grill in Collierville, they'll bring you Jason Munns tomorrow at 5. We'll have a lot to talk with Jason about after tonight's Tiger game. The Terrace family, with their touch for our community, recipes that date back to the beginning in downtown to now in Collierville at the railroad tracks at Poplar and Houston Levee. Online at jimsplacegrill.com. Don't forget the Ian Grill. Every steak grilled perfectly over an open flame. Come to Jim's Place and taste and see the difference. I had a dish last Friday night. It was just going by, and I said, I want that. I didn't know where to find it on the menu. It was outstanding. Lunch hours, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Dinner hours, Monday through Saturday, 5 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Since 1921, a Memphis landmark. Hard work, values, and a dedication to their valuable diners. The Terrace family, they've created a memorable dining experience. The lunch menu, the staples like the souffle ma, the shrimp cocktail, crab cakes, and those salad dressings, all homemade. And at dinner time, the calamari, the soups, the seafood, and the steaks, fillets, ribeyes, and strips, and the hash browns. Fantastic bar area, great TVs to enjoy the Tiger game tonight, all at Jim's Place Grill in Collierville.
Let's go ahead and get to our final break of the day. When we return, we'll wrap up today's show with Taco Bell Crunch Time.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Southern Security Federal Credit Union is a proud supporter of Memphis women's basketball and is thankful to have served the greater Memphis area for over 70 years. Southern Security is a not-for-profit financial cooperative whose mission is to help its members financially. Whether that's through providing savings options, being a lending source, or simply providing convenience, each member's needs are unique. Southern Security, your home team credit union, and a proud supporter of University of Memphis Athletics.
Hi, this is Lauren Choate with Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing. Our mission, to exceed your expectations, provide quality service with urgency, and be there for when you need us most. There is nothing more frustrating than a clogged drain, shower, kitchen, or toilet. They disrupt your life. But don't worry, Choate's is here to get those drains flowing again. With the latest tools, technology, and expert professionals, we're ready to tackle any clog, anytime. We also believe in the power of preventative maintenance, and now is the time to be proactive with Choate's $93 drain inspection. This special offer includes a camera inspection of your sewer with a full assessment of your drainage system. That's a $199 value now for only $93 this month. Give your family the peace of mind they deserve and prevent those unwanted clogs. Call us today at 347-8086 to schedule your $93 drain inspection. And remember, Choate's, let our family serve your family.
Join the Heindel Center for the Performing Arts for an evening with Cal Ripken Jr. February 22nd and celebrate a true champion. Ironman Cal Ripken Jr. played 2,632 consecutive games for the Baltimore Orioles. This 19-time All-Star, 2-time American League MVP, and Baseball Hall of Fame inductee is a true baseball icon. Get tickets at HeindelCenter.org to see Cal Ripken Jr. 7:30 p.m. Thursday, February 22nd at the Heindel Center for the Performing Arts on the campus of Northwest Mississippi Community College in Senatobia.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Step up your wings game at East Coast Wings and Grill. With 60 wing flavors and 7 heat indexes, do you have what it takes to turn the heat on your wings up to insanity? East Coast Wings and Grill is family friendly with a large variety menu to satisfy the whole bunch. Sign up today for their loyalty program and taste the rewards. For every $1 you spend, you collect a point. Earn 100 points and receive a $5 reward. Next to Lowe's off Highway 64 in Bartlett, come try America's best wings at East Coast Wings and Grill.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Hewlett & Dunn, Boot and Jean Company in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
This is pretty cool, and we're just getting started, so...
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
This is for all the biggest crunch time.
You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that? Goodbye! Hello, Haskins.
It's obviously crunch time.
Hammer, nail, coffin. This baby is over.
The double steak grilled cheese burrito, so good. Double the steak with nacho cheese sauce, seasoned rice, red strips, sour cream, and the 3-cheese blend wrapped inside a warm flour tortilla, with even more 3-cheese blend grilled on the top. The double steak grilled cheese burrito, it hits the spot now at Taco Bell. And at Taco Bell, when they say they are feeding people's lives with unexpected good, they mean it. Bowl food you can't get anywhere else.
Well, Brett, what I learned today, we mentioned it a little bit earlier, but the Maui Invitational will be moving back to Maui next season.
2 Maui hits today.
That's
wow.
right. I love it. But we know that that they could not play there because of the wildfires in Lahaina. But they'll be back after spending last year in Honolulu. They'll be back. And you mentioned it earlier, but this field that will be playing November 25th through the 27th, UConn, North Carolina, Auburn, Michigan State, Memphis, Dayton, Colorado, Iowa State. I mean, that is a star-studded
There's not a gimme in the crowd.
No, not one. I remember, going into the season this year and saying, wow, look at all these great teams in this tournament. And then you say, okay, well, maybe if you get this team, maybe if you get that team, those could be wins. Not here. No, this is
there's
elite.
no Northern Iowa.
No, it is always elite. And, all of those games are going to be the toughest game on the Tiger schedule.
I learned today after struggling through 3 quarters last night, Jaren Jackson came through in the 4th quarter. He'd been abused by Alperen Sengun for most of the night. The idea of him consistently at the 5 next year, no way. Do people not remember what happened to him in the Philippines playing the 5? The U.S. came in 4th, and he was regularly destroyed on defense last summer in the Philippines for the FIBA team.
Yeah, no, he was. You're right about that. What I could have done without, obviously we talked a lot about the shooting that took place at the Chiefs Super Bowl parade yesterday. One person has been killed from that, and a lot of people injured, a lot of children injured. Just, a terrible scene. But today, the police had another press conference about it, and their police chief said that this stemmed from a dispute between several people. They are
arguing over their standing position.
Yes.
Their parade route decision.
Yeah, if that is true, that is crazy.
No terrorism, no homegrown, no there.
Just that
at all.
But
and these idiots resolved it with breaking out pistols.
First off, how does a dispute result to that? First off, and second, how do more than 20 people get injured and one person not involved in the dispute lose their life? It is awful, and I can't believe that is what we have learned from this. That it over where people are standing at a parade.
Quick and speedy trials should be quick and speedy starting next week. I could have done without having to involve the police and legality around sports. But when you can't control yourself or your league, that's when the authorities have to step in. And that's what happened with the NBA. Isaiah Stewart was wrong. And yes, you probably in a course of play, you could get away with that because that is regulated.
Sure, but
there's some cause and effect, but not pregame, not postgame, not in street clothes and and it's a terrible look.
Yeah, no, it is a really, really bad look, not just for him, not just for the team, but for the NBA. I mean, to have a player just completely sock an opposing player before the game in the walk into the locker room, it's crazy.
And both of them using the same entrance. That shouldn't be.
Yeah, that got to stop.
That's got to stop.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't be an excuse.
No.
You don't hit another person in that realm, no matter what.
Well, and I love what Keith said a couple hours ago. Xavier Stewart's not even playing right now. He's injured.
That's the most alarming part about it. 'Cause I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, so I mean, it is just very, very weird. Brett, where are you beaming tonight?
Being me, I'm headed to FedEx Forum, but I wish I could be with the Tigers tonight in the pit in Denton, Texas, old Missouri Valley Conference game. Pace will be methodical. It won't be at FedEx Forum with Giannis and the Bucks in town.
No, it certainly will not. Beam me, I mentioned it earlier, I'll beam to a couple places tonight. Beam me, Iowa and Michigan women's basketball tonight. Caitlin Clark will no doubt break the record tonight. The NCAA
How many minutes
all-scoring.
into the game will she break it?
Oh, man. 10. I mean,
before the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, I think in the first quarter she breaks the record, and it's going to be really, really fun to watch. But also, beam me tonight. Let's go to a late night game. 2 late night games I'm very intrigued in. Colorado and UCLA. That's 8:00 tonight on ESPN. Don't look now, but UCLA, we talked a lot about them earlier in the season. I think they've rattled off 7 of their last 8 in conference play after starting 1-4 in conference play. So that should be a fun one against a really good Colorado team on ESPN.
You got there with Detroit Mercy last night.
Yeah, we did. That was a really fun game. One person stormed the court last night.
I saw it.
Game. Yeah, maybe lonely.
Kind of
man.
one person court storming and one person doing the wave.
Yes, a little bit of everything. But then later tonight, 10:00, Utah and USC on FS1. Man, what is the season turned into for USC? 9-15 overall at home tonight against Utah. They're a favorite, but man, I would be surprised if they win one at home tonight against a good Utah team.
3 NBA games tonight, Bucks and Grizzlies downtown, Warriors at Utah, Minnesota at Portland. Only 3 top 25 games, but there are 5 good games tonight in the AAC with plenty of seeding implications tonight.
Yeah, a lot going on in the American. It's going to be a busy night. I mean, if you look at the standings this morning, they could be very different tomorrow morning. And
the Tigers could move to T4 after tonight.
Yeah, it sounds about
It would
right.
take a Tulane upset over SMU, I think.
Sure. And also, I mean, all these conference games could do something to the net. So, I mean, keep an eye on that. But I'm still shocked that the Tigers are a 1.5-point dog. I mean, they could very well
never move.
Go out there and, I mean,
the last couple of Tiger games really did move.
Yeah, well, I mean, what was it, the Temple game where it shot up? I mean, it start off at 4.5?
Even Sunday afternoon, you got behind that.
Yeah. And so, I mean, it's really jumped around a lot, but not today. It has really stood firm all day today. And maybe North Texas gets the better of them, but, man, I'm just really surprised that this Memphis
Will you have anything on Tiger tomorrow early?
That's a good question. He goes off late tomorrow, I think.
Oh, does he?
1:30 tee time. So I'll have plenty the morning. But Brett, don't forget, we've got college baseball starting tomorrow.
Do.
I'm going to have a lot of action on college baseball tomorrow afternoon as the day's going on. So it's going to be a really fun game.
Tomorrow?
We'll be at the Agri Center. Yeah, come by the Agri Center tomorrow. See us. We're going to be giving away a ton for their show they're putting on at the Agri Center tomorrow. I know we've got Tiger tickets to give away. Also, the Cal Ripken tickets for next Thursday. We'll be giving out a pair of those tomorrow afternoon at the Agri Center. So make sure you stop by, say hello, and hopefully win a prize while we're out there. But that's all the time we have today. Enjoy your afternoon. Enjoy your night. We'll talk to you again tomorrow afternoon live from the Agri Center.